So I have some new sharpening stones, and I do have a message for members if some of the members come in here that I want to bring up, but I'll wait for a few people to get in here. So, ooh, sorry guys, for anybody joining early, I have some new stuff, a ton of new stuff from Lansky. So Lansky is a sharpening company. Lansky's awesome. They were the first company I ever used any real sharpening systems by, and this was like when I was a little kid. So they'll always have a place in my heart. They sent me a whole box of shit. I got a ton of stuff from Lansky. We're going to be testing that out. They are going to sponsor some videos, and we might test out some of their diamond plates in this video, but they do have fixed angled systems too that I do have. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I have a vitrified stone. I've never tried a vitrified stone. Those that don't know, a vitrified diamond stone, it's up there with the resin bonded diamond stones, resin bonded CBN stones, which are my all-time favorite sharpening stones, metal bonded stones. So there's resin bonded, hybrids, and metal bonded, okay? And then there's vitrified. Okay, so this is a vitrified. And then there's regular diamond plates, but that's not like a stone. So this is, I don't know the exact mix-up. I think it's some sort of ceramic mix with diamonds mixed throughout. So they basically take the ceramic when it's a clay. This is just what I'm guessing. I'm not positive. When it's a clay, mix the diamonds throughout just like a chocolate chip cookie, and then, you know, come out with a sheet. But we're gonna test this baby out. This is a 400 gram. I'm really excited because, like I said, I've never tried a vitrified before. And we're also gonna try some diamond plates from Lansky. They got some nice affordable stones, and they're made in the USA, so that's really awesome. I got a chef knife here in ZDP 189. I got another brand new USA made chef knife that's like 18 bucks in 14C28N. That's amazing. And then I also got some K390 we might sharpen up here in a minute because I got a blade that might need a little touch up, and I think that this stone is going to shine with steels like that, the high performance steels. And I'm going to lower you guys down, don't worry. Let's just get a few people in here. How's everybody doing? Members, your giveaway stuff, I got it right here. I'm gonna be pulling the giveaway really soon. I got something really special I'm adding into it for you guys, so that's why I've waited a couple extra days. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Just trust me, it's gonna be awesome. So that is going to be soon. So what I'll do is I probably won't do that as a live. I'll probably just record that so that I can put the new stuff in there, the new giveaway stuff, and then we'll do a live after. Yeah, anyways, so let's lower you guys down. Let's start sharpening. But members, don't forget about that. If you are a member and you didn't join that giveaway, which was the last one, it was like 2 weeks ago. So make sure you enter if you have not, because you're not going to want to miss this one. TS Prof sent us a bunch of sharpening systems to give to you guys too. So we have a ton of sharpening stuff to give away and a lot of other stuff. Let's lower you guys down really quick. Let's first check out this vitrified stone, and then we'll pull out some of these Lansky diamond plates. Anybody in here that's a beginner, this would be a perfect sharpener for you. Hey, Sever, man, thank you for the 2 bones. Considering that Paladin knife you reviewed. The Paladin's dope. The Paladin's dope. Is it worth the money? Ooh, that's tough, man. That's tough because it is an expensive knife, and I don't want to steer you wrong. I'm gonna say it is damn good. Like, it's damn good. I don't think you'd be upset at it at all. I think you'd love it. But in that price range, there is a lot of stuff. So, you know, I personally would probably steer you towards something else, possibly for the same amount of money. But if that one's speaking to you, it's phenomenal. It's a phenomenal knife. Too many. Hey, and by the way, if anybody knows Trentard, he's a member. I can't get a hold of him. He never got a hold of me, but he won a damn $400 knife, and he hasn't contacted. So if anybody knows who he is, have him get in contact with us. All right, too many. I want the Shaman, Hogue, Deca, and Maisto. Jesus. All right, so since this is the type of stone that does really like some high performance steels, we're going to start off with the, ooh, see, I don't even know how to use these, to be honest. I think we're supposed to put water on them. This is soapy water. We're going to try soapy water. So, ooh, it feels good. It feels really good. So 400 grit, okay, and we're going to pull out the regular diamond plates, which will be much more easier for people to understand. This is still diamond though, so that is what's the abrasive using to cut. That's cutting the steel, and we're cutting ZDP 189 65 to 67 HRC. It's very hard. Like, it is incredibly hard. This is a steel that can cut. So there's been tests done with thick rope like this where it's cut 1,000 pieces of rope before it would barely hang up in a piece of paper. So they definitely hold a good edge, or have the ability to hold a good edge. So that feels really good. I'll be honest, I love the feeling of this stone already. It might soak a little bit more than I'd like. Let me grab my water real quick, just in case I want to just use water. Give me 1 second, guys. You guys should be able to hear me though, because I got the mic hooked to my chest. So now you guys are hearing me drink my water. All right, I might pour some of this water on there. That's why I grabbed it. But seems like it might need to be soaked, not soaked, but see, I heard it was a splash and go, which it is kind of. Maybe it just needs a good splash. That's probably all it is. It just needs a good splash. All right, so for this knife, if you guys have chef knives, kitchen knives, one good thing to do is pinch up on the blade. That's the best spot to get to. Back here, it's not gonna have a lot of control. So what you want is you want this right here like this. Take the handle and rest it on your palm. So now when I'm putting pressure, I'm putting a pressure across an entire area right there. So it's easier for me to push down, right? Aiden, thank you for the 2 bones. You should give it to a backpacking plate. What? Oh, should glue it to a back plate. I know, I say, you're right, I probably should. What's funny about you saying that is that the other company that I'm working with right now, the USA market has the CBN bonded diamonds, the metal bonded CBN stones, and they didn't put backing on theirs either, and I told them to do it, and they just came in. So I don't have them yet, but they're on the way. They just showed up to USA market. So I will have the same stones that I have right now, but with backing on there. And then I can recommend them a lot better, because they're difficult to recommend without the backing. This is just like, I have a lot of stones like this. So this isn't so bad because it is higher than the lip right there. And what you want is you want it up high because you need clearance for your hand to go by, right? Because see, this is up high. So you want clearance underneath your knuckle. There is ways where you can actually use the wood to hold your angle. Let me show you. I'm going to lift this cutting board up. So you go like this with your knuckle and set it down like that. And then make sure this is wet though, so then it slides nice and easy. Then you can just set it down. You can use that wood to hold your angle. But best way, pinch up on the knife. Like I said, palm it. Get a nice good grip, feel comfortable. Make sure it's comfortable in your hand, because when you set it down, you're gonna wanna set it down at a natural angle that feels good. Something that when you set it down, you're like, I could hold that for a long time, right? Don't hold it too low where it starts feeling awkward. Don't hold it really high where it feels awkward. Right in the middle, right? Not too high, not too low. This is too high. This is too low. Right in the middle. And then pinch it, start at the heel of the blade. That's where you want to focus at first. Here, I'll actually start this so you guys can see it. Focus at the heel of the blade, lock your wrist, and then as you're coming across, you're gonna lift your elbow, not your wrist. Don't do this. Leave that fucker locked. Lock it in place and just go like this. So as I'm coming across, I'm gonna get to the belly and I just kink my elbow. You can watch my elbow on this side right here. I'll do it really quick. Barely lift. I'm barely lifting. And then what you can do also is depending on how you are, what type of chair you're in, you can use like a swivel chair like I have, where you can go like this, you can use it. Or you can do that with your body, lean in and lean out. A lot of people like to do that. It's where they basically lock their wrist, lock their elbow, they lock everything. And as they go across, they just kind of lean forward into it. And then as they get to the tip, they turn it. So like this, where I'm locked. I'm literally locked. I'm just going like this. Some people like to do it like that. I personally do that sometimes, but I prefer the other method that I do, but that works for a lot of people. The Weezer with the 5 bones. Ben Owl, AWOL, 3 weeks. What video do I look for members giveaway? It's the last one. It's the one with it's a giveaway, winners and entry. So I did a video where we pulled the winners and we showed the next giveaway, and that is the entry video. So make sure you enter in that, because the new stuff I have that I'm adding to it. So what you're gonna see in that video is already fucking badass. We added better, we added more, we got more to it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm pinching, got my angle, nice comfortable angle. As I'm coming across right here, I'm using a nice good portion of stone, so I'm hitting a lot of the edge. As I'm dragging across, I want to get to this section now, right? So I have to lift my elbow. So I lift my elbow to get to the tip, and then I just drop it back down and push forward. When I'm pulling, I'm using my elbow to pull, and then just lifting my elbow. So it's kind of shoulder and elbow, shoulder and elbow. And then this hand isn't doing anything but regulating my angle. So like, it's like an indicator. If I start moving up, I can feel it. If I start moving down, I can feel it. So that's one thing. And I'm also not putting pressure. I'm just allowing the weight of my fingertips to touch. So that right there, just that weight alone will isolate spots on the edge. So if you put pressure, it will isolate too much and it will make a bevel look like a wave. So make sure you don't put pressure, just let it touch. Use it as a balancing act kinda, and you can let it slide. See how the blade's sliding? Let it slide right through your fingers. Then when you get to the tip, you can push down with the tip and pull forward. There's a few different ways that work really well. Just depends on what's comfortable for you. Fuck is my paper towels now? Damn it. I didn't even get prepared. Baby, I might need you to grab me paper towels. All right, let's see. This is why you're the GOAT in the game. This content is best. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. That is nice sound. It's a really nice sounding stone, ain't it? Doesn't that sound good? I can tell you know sharpening, because yeah, this sounds amazing. Thank you. This is an amazing sounding stone. I might need you to grab a full roll. Did you hear me? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that sounds really good. It feels really good too. It's a 400 grit, and it feels like a 400 grit, to be honest. It feels like a new 400 grit diamond, which I love. I think 400 grit is a great grit, because one thing 400 grit is really awesome at is, one, you can technically reprofile on it, and you can technically finish on it. I personally don't finish on any stone under 400 typically. I've done 300 grits. Some steels do really well with a super toothy edge, and it doesn't feel as toothy as it would otherwise, but I typically go 400 grit and up. 400 grit, 600 grit, 1200 grit, 5000 grit. That's typically or 3000 grit, then 5000 grit. Those are typically the edges I do. But a 400 grit, you can reprofile on, and technically you can finish on it if you want a nice toothy edge. And I've heard that this is a beautiful one and done stone. These are made in Hong Kong, and I think they're like 170 bucks. So they are expensive, but they are diamond, and I can tell they use a lot of diamond. Dan, what's up, brother? Been a member for 15 months with the Rocksteads. We got a fucking elite member in the house. Just wanted to say, hey, everyone, Jared, Keep singing that good. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support and love, man. Let's check our burr. So we do have a burr, but I have a little tiny bit right here that I want to get. So the burr, when I'm sharpening, right? So I'm holding my angle and I'm cutting in a bevel. So I'm shaving off steel and I'm basically trying to make, because it's like this, and I'm trying to make it like this, like a perfectly flat bevel. Bevels in many cases are already flat, but once you start sharpening, you start cutting back here off. So it starts like, it starts making the shape a little odd. So what you're trying to do, because typically it's like, your knife is like this, right? It's not sharp at the tip. So what you got to do is you got to cut in a new bevel, right? And you're going to cut in from the top down. So as I'm cutting in, I'm going to cut this nice straight line in, removing all of this steel you see right here on the outside, removing all of that off until I get to the apex. And once I get to the apex, a little piece of steel is going to fold over like that on the opposite side. So if I'm sharpening this side, I will feel the burr on this side. So that's what I feel right now. I feel that little wire, and you just go like this. Rub right up just like that, and you can touch it and you can feel it. And it feels like kind of like sandpaper or like kind of like a metal wire. It's just rough. If you feel this way, you can feel this is smooth. This is rough. So I have a little bit at the heel I need to get. So I'm just gonna let the finger weight, like I said, touch right there. And I'm just using my elbow, just back and forth like that. I'm not using my wrist. Everybody thinks you use your wrist, and that's where people fuck up, because your angle is held by your wrist. Let me just show you guys this real quick. Your angle is held by your wrist. So like when I need to get to the tip, like I said, I lift my elbow, right? That's how I get to the tip. So if I want to get the heel of the blade, I drop my elbow, right? So this is the same thing, even if I'm at an angle like this, it's going to be the same thing, right? But what I don't want to do is fluctuate this. I do not want to fluctuate this part right here. I want to lock that in. Whatever angle I pick, I want to keep it. Keep it until I'm done. Don't keep changing it. Don't do a bunch of swipes on one angle and change it. If you do it in the beginning, you can get away with it, but you don't want to do that a bunch of times. So what that'll do is it'll not only convex your edge, but it'll make a bunch of facets on your edge, and it just makes it more difficult. It'll just take you a lot longer. If you're holding way too low of an angle, then you might want to change it. What would be a good set of stones or something to sharpen? Knives for a beginner, kitchen knives and pocket knives also. Okay, so I'm going to recommend two things. One, I'm going to recommend these little Lansky diamond plates we're going to test out here in a second. These are really good. They're cheap. They're affordable. There's 2 diamond plates in each, and I recommend diamond. Let me explain why. So for a beginner, the worst thing you could do is get a whetstone or a water stone or anything like that. And the reason why is because, as you can see, there's a mess here. This is actually a low maintenance stone. A lot of the stones you see on Amazon, you see people like on, you know, in videos recommending, they're not good stones, first of all, but number 2, they're messy. They're high maintenance. And what happens is now you got to soak them, you got to get them wet, you got to flatten them, you got water everywhere. It just becomes a fucking nightmare. With diamond plates, nothing. You literally set the stone down and just sharpen. When you're done, dust it off. That's it. So, but another thing is that diamonds cut any steel. Like this steel right here, I can't sharpen this on a whetstone. Well, technically I could with this because this doesn't have high carbides, but this is a very hard steel. But like any super steel that has any high carbide steel, so basically S45 and up, any steels like that, you have to use diamonds, or you should use diamonds, because while you can get the edge sharp on those other stones, they won't cut the carbides, which will lead to microchipping. The edge won't get very sharp or as sharp as it could. It'll go dull faster. I think like the test that I seen was by 50 to 60% edge retention loss. What's up, Nathan? All right, so we have a burr from heel to tip. So now what I'm gonna do is, oh yeah, by the way, another thing is Atomas are the ones that I love the most out of all diamond plates, but these are gonna be more affordable, and you get 2 of them per thing, and it's already got a holder built in, so you don't have to buy one of these stone holders. So if you're a beginner, that's a good thing to get. Diamond plates are always going to be the best for beginners and pros. That's the beautiful thing, isn't it? It's like the difference between a pro and a beginner isn't much, because diamonds is what you're going to want. The pros typically are going to be sharpening high performance steels, but the one step that they'll go into is bonded diamond. So it's the same thing as this, except for the diamonds are mixed throughout the stone, like I'm using right here. This one is kind of a splash and go, so it's not a soaking, I just splash it. It is soaking a bit more than some of my other bonded stones. Most of my bonded stones, you just put a little water and it just stays on there the whole time till you're done. But this is mixed diamonds throughout this whole stone. Very expensive, but that's the difference. So this just has diamonds spread over the surface. But that's basically the difference between a pro and a beginner, is just that. Now, some pros, especially if you're sharpening chef knives, mostly, you might want to get some Japanese whetstones. Those are really nice for carving steels, and certain chef knives, they do work really good. Arkansas stones, but like I said, they are much more maintenance, and they make it to where, like I said, a pro, I recommend them more for pros, not beginners. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I have the burr. I'm going to flip my burr over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from the tip to the heel. Now, I'm not worried about my angle right here. I can go a little high, right? So say my edge angle right here is to sharpen. I'm just going to go up just a little bit right there, and I'm going to go like this. But I'm not using any pressure. And all that's doing is flipping my burr that's accumulated this way back over to this side. I'm getting it out of the way. So now, one, I can go across the stone without the burr catching on the stone. And two, I leave my burr on there, so I'm not just tearing it off. I do not want to just rip my burr off. That little bit of accumulated steel, just to show you guys really quick so it can make sense, that steel that accumulates at the apex, you want that thing to flip back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until it snaps off. And when it snaps off, what do you got? You got a very keen tip, because the burr won't be there. So that's why. So you're always going to accumulate steel when you're sharpening on the opposite side you're sharpening. So you want to, when that pops off, when that comes off, that's when you reveal your sharp edge. That's the part that people don't understand about sharpening. You're sharpening both sides with the attempt to develop a burr so that you can remove the burr and reveal your sharp edge. And the burr is very easy to remove if you know what you're doing. Like super easy. It's way easier than sharpening. So with this one, same thing, locking my wrist, using my elbow to get the blade shape, right? Holding my angle for the edge. So this is the edge angle. And then to get to the tip, I just lift my elbow. And it's very little, like I'm lifting it like that much. That's it. It's very subtle. And I'm using my body to push forward, back and forth, kind of using my hips. I could use my elbow if I wanted, but in this case with the push, I like to use my body a little bit more. With the pull, I do sometimes, but not so much. Don't worry, we're going to pull out these diamond plates here in 1 second, and those are the ones I would recommend for beginners the most. Because, oh, damn, we already got a burr. This sucker does cut pretty damn quick, doesn't it? For a 400, yeah, my bevel's a little bit bigger on this side, so I got to go a little bit longer. If your bevel winds up being smaller on one side than the other, you need to either drop the angle on the smaller side, or just work on it a bit longer. In many cases, you want to adjust the angle slightly. A little goes a far way, though. I got this knife, guys. I got it back from my cousin. Do I have it right here? I want to show it to you guys. Here it is. So not my cousin, but a family member, right? I gave him a Vision FG like 6 months ago, maybe like 8 months ago. Maybe it was like at the beginning of the year. But look, the edge is just completely shot. This is just microchipped to shit, which is awesome. I love that he's used the shit out of it. He's chipped the tip off. I love it. The thing had a bunch of play. The clip is wiggling. We're gonna tune this baby back up. I'm gonna stretch the spring, make the lock stronger. We're gonna make this thing back to rock solid, and we're gonna bring back the edge. Maybe not in this video, but I'll probably do it in another video. All right, so now I'm going to use this as my finishing stone for this time. So what I'm gonna do is I have my bevel set on this side and on this side. So now, remember, I sharpened this side, so now my burr is developed on this side, right? Sharpen this side just now. The burr's on this side, so I can feel it now. All the way up to the tip. Make sure it's all the way from heel to tip. And then, so now the burr's on this side. Like I did before when I flip my burr, I'm gonna do no pressure. This takes, like, literally you can just pinch it with 2 fingers. It takes no pressure. Touch the tip to the stone. You can hold a little bit of a high angle, not like a super high angle, just a little bit higher. Like I sharpened at this angle. So I'm just like that high, and I'm just gonna go like this. Very, very gentle. This is super gentle, no pressure. And the reason why we don't want any pressure is because we're not trying to disrupt our edge angle. We're just trying to snag the burr. The burr's accumulated at the apex. We want to snag that son of a bitch and flip it back and forth. So now I'm going to do this back and forth. From tip to heel for the first few passes. Then we'll do some forward, some heel to tip. Very gentle though, no pressure. Okay, let's see how this thing's already going. And then you can feel for the burr to make sure it's all removed. You can also go like this. 90% of it's gone. That actually felt pretty damn good. Now we have 6 micron. This is some new stropping stuff from Hapstone. My favorite stuff is stroppy stuff, but Hapstone's got some really good shit too now. And we're stropping it. So this is a diamond emulsion on top of a leather strop. We're gonna have some more sharpening here in 1 second. We're gonna sharpen up some different knives too. I hear something. Hold on a second. Is that my edge? No, I think something's on my strap. Yeah. I'll get that later. Oh yeah, that sucker is sharp, boys. Let's test it out. That didn't go too good. Maybe not as sharp as it felt. Hang on. I mean, it's sharp, but it's also a 400 grit edge, so I don't expect it to just whittle through paper towels. I mean, it's cutting paper towels. Yeah, it's cutting it. But I totally could get that sucker even keener if I would have removed my burr on a fine stone. This is why I always tell you guys, sharpen no matter what stone you finish on. Remove your burr on an ultra fine. That's what I always do. I'm just testing this out as a starting and finishing stone, and obviously it works great. And then take your nail and run your nail straight up your edge like that. It should feel like wet glass. You shouldn't feel anything. If you feel little tiny spots, like little tiny specks, then that means you have burr remaining or you have micro tear out. So let's dry this stone up. Cool stone. I love it already. This is a badass stone. I'm in love with this thing. Like I said, next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my burr on a fine stone. I'm going to let this sucker dry over here while we pull out these Lansky diamond plates, because these suckers are pretty damn cool. So right here we have a coarse and a fine. Does it say? I thought it did. Well, it's a coarse and a fine. So like probably a 300 grit and a 600 grit. And then this one I think is a medium and a fine. So this one's probably 400 and 600 or something. But we're going to start off with this one. And I thought about doing this 14C28N knife, but I do have some super steels we could do. I did pull out, was it this one? Yeah. So I was going to sharpen up my misdemeanor design. We could do that, K390. That is an absolute super steal. Or we could sharpen up this 14C 28N, very cheap $20 USA made knife. What do you guys think? One's 400-600. Yeah, that sounds about right. They are good. I got the Husky version. Nice. Yeah, these ones are made in the USA. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's what the box says. I know most of their stuff is. Maybe not this, but I'll ask them. But I know a lot of their stuff is made in the USA. I got on a phone call with Lansky the other day. You guys know? I didn't know this. Check this out. Do you know Lansky bought Ontario? They didn't send this to me. I bought this. They also bought, so they own the Rats now. They also bought a knife company. I forget what it was. Damn it, what is it? Is it River Edge? No, not River Edge. It's one of them. I do want a misdemeanor. Okay, we'll do the K390. You guys want that K390? Let's do that K390. Oh yeah, look at that. This thing is so awesome. Yeah, the thumb flick's not the best. You can do it, but the top flipper and the reverse flick is money. Somebody was asking, why is your hole behind the scale where you can't get it? It's like, well, it lands where your middle finger lands. Your thumb, yeah, you do, you know, you have to roll it more than a thumb flick it. I could have put a stud on this side. Next time. It came out the exact way I wanted. I wanted a reverse flicking, top flipping knife, and I love the look of it. It just looks aggressive. It looks mean. Let's look at it next to my other knife design. I have one other knife design too in the pouch behind me. This one should be on the way to me in the next couple days. So whoever wants to get one, there's going to be 400 of them, 4 different colors. And they will be available soon. Howdy, brother. Upstate New York blade collector here. What's up, brother? I like the yellow Lansky stone from the sharpening system. Yeah, so that's a ceramic. I actually got some right here. Talking about this little puppy right there. Yeah, so they have that one and then a blue one. So the blue one is their ultra fine ceramic, and then that's their regular ceramic. They're damn near the same. There's a little bit of difference with the ultra fine. Okay, so let's check this edge. I want to see my angle really quick, because with this one I do not want to do too low of an angle, because this fucker is too thin to go too low of an angle. Look at this. This is the definition of laser beam. It's just so thin and slicey. Like if you mess up with something like this, it's cutting you to the bone. So I don't want to lower back my edge angle too far. 1, because it would just be way too sharp. But 2, because I don't want it to be fragile. It's already so thin that even at 20 degrees, this thing is going to be a laser beam. But I'll probably do about 18 degrees. 17 at the lowest. And see how you have this stone, you have plenty of room. However, I would recommend one thing for anybody. And by the way, Lansky has sponsored me, or is sponsoring some videos. So just so you guys do know that. But 17 degrees, get one of these. Now what you can do is you can set that right here. Now, if you didn't get a Lansky and you want to get an Atoma, they are bigger. So it just depends on what you want to get. But this little beginner set, you can put the 17 degree right there, and then just go like this. The cool thing about the clamp is that you can get other stones in any stone, and you can also, it's got weight, so it sticks to the table a little bit better than this one. This one slides a little bit, but it's not bad. You just don't put a lot of pressure anyways, so not a big deal. So what I'm doing is I have it pinched like this, fingers around, and I'm controlling the thumb, the spine with the thumb, right? Now I'm taking this finger and I'm actually measuring my angle with this one. I don't have to do this anymore, but I used to do this when I was a beginner, and it's a really good way to do it. So I pick a spot, and it's typically the direct middle of my thumb or just a little bit higher of the middle of my thumb. And then I take a spot on the knife. In this case, I'm gonna use right behind the tip, right there. So that's where I'm going to measure that spot. And I'm gonna set my thumb down, And I'm going to take that little spot I just said right behind that little spot on the blade. And that is my angle. Now you guys can see it. So it's like that. So my thumb is basically gliding across stone. Now, if you go like this too much, it'll carve into your thumb. So, you know, because this is aggressive. So what you do is you just find the angle and then either let your thumb up and then guide it across, or let it float, meaning like literally just float it across. If you have rough fingers like me, you won't have to worry about it either way, but if you do too much, it'll definitely grind your thumb regardless if you have rough fingers or not. But as I'm pushing across, lifting my elbow. As I'm pushing across, I'm lifting my elbow and coming back. It already has a burr. That's how thin these are. They are good stones for the money. Outdoors 55, put in some really good info. Neeves and him basically taught me how to sharpen. Yeah, he's an awesome guy. I love Alex. I need to get him on a video. David, what's up, man? I've been a member for 12 months with the Spartans. Shout out to the Spartans. Oh, man, K390. Misdemeanor coming soon. Yes, it is. The misdemeanor is coming soon. So we do have a burr already. So I'm already going to, let me just look at it really quick. Okay, so I can see my scratch pattern's perfect. So you want your scratch pattern to go from the top of the bevel down to the apex, just like this. Oh, you know what? Actually, I got it in the drawings right here. I drew this shit for you guys. Don't be looking in here because my knife designs are in here. You guys can't look at those. Not yet. Soon. Where is the picture? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's micro bevels. Show you guys some shit really quick so we can get people to understand. All right, so you want your edge to look like this. This is the idea. Regardless if you have a toothy edge or a mirror polished edge. The difference between a toothy edge and a mirror polished edge is the scratches are closer together. There's basically much more of them with a fine edge. They're tighter together, and each one of these little microscopic serrations are closer together. It's like a very small micro serrations. A toothy edge would be more farther apart, like you see here. This is exaggerating because I need you to be able to see it, but on a microscopic level, that's what it would look like. What you don't want it to look like is like this. This is what pull-through knife sharpeners do. They fuck your edge up, throw them in the garbage. You don't want them. I mean, the only thing they're good for is if you're hunting or doing some sort of outdoors shit, like camping or something, and you're gonna be out there and you can't bring a stone, you don't know how to sharpen. It's just to get your edge sharp for 10 seconds, because that's all it's gonna be sharp for is 10 seconds. But you see the scratches are going this way instead of this way, right? See the difference in the edge? So what you're looking at is this is the difference between a properly sharpened edge bevel and a poorly sharpened edge bevel. This edge will not stay sharp and it won't be very sharp. And again, if you're looking at this, you can see, zoom in, it's little microscopic serrations. This is an edge bevel, and if you did a micro bevel, which is exactly what pull-through knife sharpeners do, you know, the ones you drag through the thing, what they're doing is they're doing this. They're rounding your tip just like that. They're just putting a little apex right at your apex. This would normally be your bevel, like what I'm sharpening right now, my entire bevel. What those pull-through things do is they put a little tiny bevel just right at the tip. So it's a micro bevel. The problem with that is that that's a super high angle. So super high edge angles, while they're tough, they're not sharp at all, and they won't stay sharp. The higher the edge angle, the faster it goes dull. The lower the edge angle, the longer it stays sharp, but the weaker it is. So you want to find that balance. Let me take a drink. This is titanium handle, titanium backspacer, titanium milled pocket clip with the cutout for the lock bar on the inside. I have a coral pattern on the scales, cross hatch texturing on the lock bar, riding on ceramic caged bearings in the pivot and detent ball, and it's running K390 with a very deep hollow grind. 90 thousandths blade stock thickness. It's like 7-8 thousandths behind the edge or something. When well, it was. Now it's a little bit sharper. It's been tested and stuff. Let's establish pull through is garbage. Yes, let's establish that. I'm gonna have to do another video, guys. I'm starting to get more comments now, and people just need a reminder, so I might do another pull through sharpening video with Sharpen's Best, because I got his Sharpen Spark, and I might test it and do an edge retention test. What do you guys think? Use that, do an edge retention test next to my freehand sharpened edge with the same knife. So there's no bullshit. All right, so I'm missing some at the heel. So just really quick, I'm gonna get that really quick. Now, anytime you work on one spot, I'm focusing my attention right here. I'm just kind of angling into that area, and I'm not lifting my elbow to get to the tip. I'm just kind of sitting right there. Anytime you do that, you have to blend it. So do not do more than like 4 or 5 passes in any one specific area without blending it in. Otherwise, you'll cause facets. And what facets are is it's just angle change. Like you'll see a spot where an angle is changed. You want it to be as consistent as possible. Like right there, I got it. I don't think you guys will be able to see it. Oh, I can zoom in. Holy shit. I didn't realize I could zoom in. See the little microscopic serration? Let me zoom out just a little bit. Right there. And remember, this is a toothy edge bevel. There we go. All right, so now I'm gonna flip my burr again, like I said with the other one. So I'm just going from the tip to the heel. And I'm doing the same kind of pass. Like when I go back like this, so when I go back and forth, I'm dropping my elbow when I go forward, then lifting my elbow when I go back, dropping when I go forward, lifting when I go back. Right now, when I'm doing this, I'm not using any pressure at all, and I'm just flipping the burr back. That's it. Just knocking it out of the way, so now it's not in the way, and I didn't tear it off. I just flipped it over. If it does pop off, that's fine. We're gonna develop another burr throughout the other stones. I seen a guy the other day, he was teaching knife sharpening, and he was teaching to do a burr removal with every stone, which to me just doesn't even make sense. You're going to develop another burr. Why rip it off? Why not just wait till the end? Because if you let it develop, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, not saying it's going to do anything wrong. It's not going to hurt anything, but to me, it's just a waste of time. If it pops off, it pops off. Angle depends on grit and thickness, and grit depends on what you want in your steel. Yeah, so the edge angle, depending on what angle you're going to put on your knife, like if I want to hold it up here or hold it down here, depends on the purpose. What do I want it for? Do I need a tough edge, or do I need a super sharp edge, or do I want a balance, right? 17 degrees per side is a happy medium. That's a semi-tough edge with a high level of sharpness. 20 degrees is a tough edge with a little less sharpness. So you see how as it went higher in the angle, the toughness went up, but the sharpness went down a little bit. 17 degrees, toughness and sharpness is kind of equal, right? Maybe sharpness is just slightly above. When you go to 15 degrees per side, sharpness is above and toughness is on the low end. So it's much more fragile. So if you're going to be doing impact hitting things, stuff like that, you're not going to want a super low angle. But if you're wanting something that's going to blaze through cardboard, cutting rope, straps, plastic, stuff like that, you might want a low angle. Just don't hit staples and nails and stuff. Now, a high angle, like a 25-degree edge bevel, would be like for like a chopper, something for outdoors use for very hard abuse on your knife. Now, the thickness depends too, because the thicker the edge is, the bigger your bevel's going to be. If it's like this is a very thin edge, that's why my bevel's not very big. I could put a 10-degree bevel on this and it's not going to be very big because it's so thin behind the edge. But if I did that same thing with, you know, this knife right here, the bevel's going to be all the way up to here. It's going to be half the knife will be the edge bevel. So, you know, it depends on how thick the knife is. If it's really thick, then you don't want to go too low of an angle, unless if you really want a very, very, very big bevel. But be careful, because it could look like a Scandi grind when you're done. The grit depends on, so what finish should you do? What stone should I stop at? Right now we're at like a, I don't know, a 300 or 400 grit. what should we stop at? 600, 1200, 2000, what? So grit depends on a few factors. One, what you're doing with it, but more importantly, what steel is it and what HRC is on it, how's the heat treatment. A softer heat treatment, you're usually not gonna want a polished edge. There are some examples where you can get away with it on certain steels, but most steels do way better with a polished edge when the HRC is higher. The HRC is the hardness of the steel. How hard is it? Sorry, I'm not trying to get too scientific with you guys. I'm just trying to help you guys understand. We already have a burr. That was fast, right? So I personally say 600 grit is going to be the best edge or best grit to stop at for most steels, for all steels. Some steels do better with a polished edge, and some do better with a medium grit edge. But they all do good with a medium grit edge, I should say. They all do good with a medium grit edge, but only some do really good with a super fine polished edge. So if you want to go above 2000 grit, you want certain steels, in my opinion. You can always go to 2000 grit and it will come out very sharp. It's just it won't hold it. What it'll do is it'll get slippery and then you won't have bite. Because there's two factors with an edge. You have sharpness, which is edge angle, and then the grit, which is from the stone, is the bite. Like the serrations I showed you guys, right? So the edge angle is the height of the bevel. How big is the bevel? And then the teeth is the bite. Sharpness and bite. So you need both. You do not want just one of those two things. You need both. So once you lose bite, the sharpness, while it might be sharp, it's going to be very slippery and it becomes a dangerous edge. If you guys have ever tried to cut a plastic strap and your knife just slips out of the cut, that's why. There's no bite. Yes, this is dropping. I just talked to them today. They should be shipping them like any day. Like they're done. I seen them. So I'm just waiting for them to give me confirmation that they shipped. Then that means they're going to be shipping to me. Then I'm going to announce they'll be here in 2 weeks. And then we will set up a countdown. And at the end of that countdown on the Neve Knife Co. site, they'll be available for whoever first come, first serve. Man, that thing came out quick. See that? See how fast that comes up? Now this one, check out this. Oh, well, I wasn't saying this is a nice polished edge, but I was beating the shit out of it today. See how sharp that is though? See how I didn't slip out of no cut? Ooh, this is aggressive. Yeah, I can't use this right now. Is this supposed to be a fine? I think this is the same as this one, 600 grit. So I'm going to switch to a different stone right now because I do not want to stop at 600 grit with this knife at the moment. Well, let me see. I mean, it wouldn't be bad, but let me grab another stone. Let me grab. Ugh. I have so many damn stones, guys. This thing's filled. This is all bonded diamond stones, and I have a whole nother box full of bonded diamond stones. Let's grab some of these. We're gonna grab a 650 and a 3K. You know what? We gotta get something in between that. What am I doing? 1500. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so these I do not need to wet them. These are CBN bonded steel. So they're sorry, not steel, metal. Metal bonded CBN. These are the ones that right now are on the way that are going to be on the USA Market site, but they'll have backs on them. So instead of being like this, they're going to be thicker, where it's going to be like this, where it's going to have a back on it like that, and then they'll sit like this, which is going to be so much better because they're slim. As you can see, they're super thin, but this thing will last you like 10 years. So let's Manus with the 10 Rons. Delivery will be available in Europe. I don't know. Man, I don't think so. I think we only do US on this one. Just check the site, see what the site says. My partner runs my site, so I can ask him if we're able to do that. I'm not positive. Okay, so doing the same thing. My thumb trick right to the middle, starting at the heel as I go across the stone, lifting my elbow. And I'm kind of turning into it just a little bit with the tip, so as the tip gets hit. Kind of pushing into it. That looks beautiful. Oh yeah, there we go. See, this is the beauty with a thin edge, it goes fast. Like, I've been talking and bullshitting this whole time. I could have sharpened this, like, I could have been done with this in 5 minutes or less, probably 3 minutes. Without a doubt, like, not even exaggerating. Because it is such a thin edge that when you have such a thin edge, it's so easy to remove the steel, even with a high-performing super steel like this. And this is why, like, when people are like with even the Rex 121 or any of these steels, like this steel, people will be like, yeah, try sharpening it, because it's a high carbide steel. So it's like a super, you know, it's a super hard super steel. Well, what they don't understand is that if it's good geometry, I could sharpen this faster than you can sharpen your 440C or your 8CR or any of your steels, faster than your shit steel kitchen knives. Have you ever tried the FSK diamond resin bonded stones? FSK. I don't know. I don't think so. I do have some more stones coming. I have right now. I tried Vitrified at the beginning of this for the first time. I have some other Vitrified stones eventually coming. They're not on the way, but they are in development for me. And then I have some other bonded diamond stones on the way that are in the process of being made. And but yeah, I've tried a lot of them, man. I mean, I have right now probably 5 different kinds, maybe six, no, probably like 7 different kinds of bonded diamonds stones. Yeah, it looks beautiful, man. That's gorgeous. By the way, this one's a 1500 grit plate. And yes, I'm doing just pull motions, and I'm going back and forth. So I'm doing both. Sometimes I just do one and I lift up and I set it back down. Then other times I'll keep on the stone. If you can find your groove, you can stay on the stone and just go back and forth. It does not matter. I hear people all the time talk about like, oh, you should sharpen this way, or you should sharpen only this way, or there's all kinds of myths, but it doesn't matter. It literally makes no difference. And it's been proven. So it's not even like up for debate. The big difference is whether or not you can hold the angle. If you can hold the angle, it doesn't matter. If you struggle with holding the angle, then yeah, it's going to come out like shit. It's going to depend on what you're best at holding that angle perfectly. If you can do it back and forth, that's fine. But if you're fluctuating, like a lot of people will, even myself sometimes, I will just do single passes. But I make sure that I keep my wrist locked. So when I lift my knife up, right, I'm literally just lifting straight up. I'm lifting my shoulder. Shoulder lift, I lean forward, I drop my shoulder. So now I'm back at that same angle. Lift, drop. Lift, drop. So I'm making it to where I don't change this. I don't change my wrist. Yeah, as long as you can hold that angle, it doesn't matter. You can go back and forth, you can go forward. I wouldn't recommend going just backwards. You could do it, but I know some people do it, but I mean, I personally wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend doing a pushing or pulling, right? You can do it either way, because I use one hand. Some people use their left hand and right hand, and then they just pull towards them when they do it. I like to push and pull. Now with that, I can do both back and forth motions or just single passes. But when I do burr removal, I always go tip to heel for the first few passes, and then I'll do heel to tip. And you'll see that here in a second, because I do it the same way every time, because to me, it has led to the best edges that I've ever created have been from removing my burr with that same pattern. And it works like a charm. The beautiful part about it is that because, like I was showing you guys with the teeth, imagine, because this is the way the teeth are. They're at an angle like that. Because like when you cut like this, right? Picture this is something I'm going to cut, right? I'm cutting this way. So you want the teeth to aim this way so that the serrations are cutting into the fibers of what you're cutting, right? Just like this, right? So if I take this and now I run my stone from here to here, I'm going to run right into the tips of all those micro serrations, right? But if I come from this way, I'm going to fold them. They're just going to fold like dominoes. So that's what happens when I knock my burr off. I'm folding it instead of just tearing them off. If I do the forward passes, yes, it works. And that's the way I did it for years. I literally only did forward passes. I didn't do any reverse passes at all because it worked. It works just fine. But every once in a while, I'd get micro chipping or micro tear out or whatever. And I found out that it was from my burr removal. Marianne with the 25. Any idea why I can't see any difference on the 80 grit Vitrified after I reversed the stone on the 60 grit? I see what it's taking away thickness. Well, you shouldn't be taking away too much thickness. You shouldn't see it taking away anything. You should just refinish. You won't see any difference. It shouldn't really, I mean, draw some lines on it with a marker or some pencils and then rub it around on the silicon carbide. Once those lines are gone and they're gone from using the silicon carbide, then just rinse it off and it should be fine. Then you should see a difference if it wasn't working for you prior. But I'm not sure. Like if that's happened, if you've refinished them, reconditioned them, then they should be working just fine. You might just need to get used to them. You might struggle with holding your edge angle on them or something. I'm not sure. I think you said you have the KDTUs, right? Am I correct on that? Are you the one that was talking to me on Instagram about it? I can't remember. I talked to a lot of people. Forgive me. Is there any benefits to stone sharpening freehand over using something that holds a finger? Yes, there's actually a lot of benefits. So one benefit would be that you can sharpen anywhere. You can literally you can bring just one little stone with you. You can bring something like this with you. As long as you have something, you can sharpen, right? I can sharpen in hand, I can sharpen anywhere. Another thing is that if you know how to freehand, you can sharpen on like say I could use a stone and I could use the edge of the stone if I needed to do a recurve or something like that. If you're using a fixed angle system, you got to get all different size stones, which you still should for freehand too. So I don't want to say that that's a big advantage or a big difference because you should have different size stones. But the most important thing is, well, there's a few things. One, the freedom of being able to work on areas appropriately. But the number one thing that is the biggest fucking difference is your ability to hit your heel and your tip. With a fixed angle system, the heel can be very difficult to hit and the tip can be very, very difficult to hit because the angle will change. Because when they go to, think about a belt, right? A belt goes around in a circle. Say they have a belt right in front of you going straight up and down. That's how they sharpen their knives. It's on a belt, right? So when they come in on the belt, sometimes the belt will come in at an angle and then they'll come across it like this. So when that happens, it can cut in a separate angle. So with a fixed angled, it's more difficult to hit. With freehand, I can go like this. I can literally just go and just, just drop my angle a little bit and hit that spot. To get to the tip, I can reassure I get to my tip. So that's one huge difference. With freehand, it's much easier to get the tip and the heel of the knife. The fixed angled, in many cases, you might take 3-4 sharpenings before you hit it. And sometimes you'll still not hit it. It'll still be messed up. You'll round it, you'll roll it, things like that. Fixed angle does deliver the most beautiful edges the fastest though. So if you're looking for beautiful razor sharp edges, then fixed angles is what you're gonna want to go with. If you want to put in the time and you want to feel some soul with it, and you want to be able to pass it down to your kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, stuff like that, and you want to be able to do it anywhere, anytime, with anything, then you want freehand. Fixed angle is good for at home, and that's it. So if I blew your house up and you had a knife on you, you're gonna be fucked because I took out your damn sharpener. Me, I'm gonna go find a damn rock and I'll be just fine. Even though I'd prefer a diamond plate. Oh, man. All right, flip my burr over again. This is the last stone. Then we're going to do the burr removal. 3K. I didn't try to bring it to too much of a polish. I did skip around just a little bit, and I didn't spend a super long time on the lower grits, just because I'm not really worried about polish. Technically, a 3K can make a polished edge. I'm more looking for a little bit more bite with my 3K edge. We're almost done. But yeah, freehand does take some time to get used to, but if you do two things, if you just do the two things that I always say, well, maybe three, get yourself a stone clamp and diamond plates, preferably a Toma from Neve Knife Co. But you can also get them from Amazon. I got them down in the links down in the description. But the problem is the Neve Knife Co. site is out of them right now. So if you want to get them, just go to the Neve's Knives Sharpening Supplies store. It's just an Amazon. So Tomas are the best diamond plates. You can get more affordable ones, of course, like Lansky. If you get the Lansky, you can see the difference in the size. This is way bigger, but this comes with a base and it comes with two stones. These, it's a plate with a thin sheet over the top. You can peel this off and you can replace it. So you can see I put one on the opposite side. This is the same grit. I just put one on each side. But get a diamond plate, get a stone holder, and get yourself some angle finders. If you get these three things, you are good to go. Get yourself a 400 and a 600 grit and a 1200 grit. So 3 stones, 400, 600, and 1200. Later on in the future, you can get yourself a 140, something for really hogging some steel off when you get better at it. What am I doing? Because that a 140 is so aggressive, you probably shouldn't use it when you first start. But eventually you're going to want it. But anyways, the 400 grit will reprofile your knife just fine. But that's what I would recommend. Can I please have a sharpening kit if possible, please, bro? Hit me up on, where do you live? You live in the States? Let me see here. All right, let's knock a little bit more, and we're gonna knock this burr off. I could just tell I gotta get a little, I just gotta tip just a little bit. Like I said, we can easily work on the tip. Pause. All right, there we go. So what I'm gonna do is the burr removal now. So I have a very tiny burr because this is 3000 grit. It's not aggressive. See, I can grind my knuckles into it. This is very soft. Well, not soft, it's very hard, but it's very smooth. That's what I should say. This is very aggressive. That'll sand your fingers down. This, not so much. So this is like a polishing stone, kind of. So this is something that I would love to remove my burr on. Anything 3000 grit and higher. So even if I came off of this stone, a super toothy edge, I would go over here and remove my burr on this stone, because this stone is going to be more delicate to my burr, which is what I want. This will be very aggressive. It will not only rip my burr off, but it'll also add scratches onto my apex, which I don't want. This thing won't do that. So it allows me to remove my burr very delicately, very gently, fatiguing my burr back and forth, flipping it over back and forth on the apex like think about like taking a paper clip and folding it back and forth until it snaps. That's what we're doing here. And I'm going to do some forward passes now. So I originally did tip to heel like this, and then I do some heel to tip until I do not feel any burr left. I think we got it. We're gonna do just a little tiny bit to heel. Let me, oh, there's something on my stone. Hang on. I can hear it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Where did I put that damn strap? I need to reload this strap. I might have to grab a different one. It'll be fine for right now. I can feel it's still aggressive. This is 6 micron strap, 6 micron diamond compound on this. That stuff's from Hapstone. I love stroppy stuff the most. Yeah, that's really fucking sharp. Holy shit. Let me get a different strap though really quick. This is 4 micron stroppy stuff. I didn't need to use 2 different straps, especially off a 3000 grit, but I wanted to. All right. Oh yeah, that puppy is sharp, sharp. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll do the paper towel, then we'll grab a piece of paper. Look at that. That fucker is sharp, boy. Yeah, I can go sideways. I can do angle cuts. Look at that shit. That is sharp, sharp. What did I just drop? My strap. Don't drop your strap. All right, now we will grab, I had a book over here I was going to use to strip paper out of, but guess I don't have that. I guess we'll use this piece of paper. All right. Look at that. Just, I don't even have to think about it. Just right through it. Right through it. Those are push cuts too, by the way. Push, 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 push. I'm not like going like this where I go heel to tip like that. I'm not doing that. I'm just pushing straight through. Look at that. That is so sharp. But as you can see, we can cut from heel to tip. Very nice. Very, very sharp. Now, we have another thing I want to sharpen really quick because you know, there's so many different styles of knives. Like so far today we did a kitchen knife and we did a folding pocket knife. But just so you know, folding pocket knives, they can get much thicker. Like this is a thin knife right here. This is very slicey, but this is much thicker than this. This is a high performance cutter. This is a great EDC knife. It is still a hollow grind. It's very sharp, but if you look, my wife was fucking in the backyard with the nephews cutting sticks with it. I was in the kitchen and they came running. They're really little, like 3 years old. And they were saying, I thought they were saying light, 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 light. And I said, you want a flashlight? Like, no. And then Kara told me, she's like, they're saying knife. I said, oh, okay. So I handed her my pocket knife, told them, you know, be careful, go give it to Kara. Then I didn't know I thought she was going to open something. I didn't know what she was going to do. Then I come out like 10 minutes later, she's back to fucking whittling sticks. I love it. So we're going to wash this sucker off really quick. And we're going to tune it up. So I'm going to show you guys how to maintain an edge, because right now is a perfect time for this thing to get some edge maintenance. I don't think it needs a full sharpening. Wood is kind of delicate on edges, to be honest. It's not going to hurt it. But what we're going to do is, so this is something you're going to want to do with any edge you have. Any edge. Right now we have microchips. So from here to here, I don't feel anything. Then all of a sudden right there, I feel all kinds of, you might be able to hear it. Hear that? Now listen out down here. Can't hear nothing. Listen up here. So that what we're gonna do is we're gonna micro bevel it. Very gently though. I'm not doing like a super abrasive micro bevel. I'm gonna do a very gentle one. So hopefully what'll happen is, if anything, it'll just fold the steel back into place. So I'm gonna, very gentle. This is a ceramic. You can use any ceramic rod. I have tons of them, or ceramic plate. Like dude earlier was talking about the Lansky stone. You could use that. And we're just letting the apex hit. So this would be the apex, the tip of the sharpest part, right? So if I'm down here like this, my apex is not hitting. My apex is hitting if I lift my spine up fairly high. And I'm just barely, no pressure, just barely touching it. And the reason why is because if you apply pressure, you are going to cut into the steel. This is very hard and very smooth, but it still is an abrasive. So it will cut into your edge bevel, which you don't want. Right now, we're just looking to basically take our teeth and go like this, back to true. And we did it. Bang. I should have cut some paper before this so I could have showed it to you. I'm an idiot. And now you can hear a little tiny bit up there at the very, very tip. We'll get rid of it though. These are so useful, man. Now listen. Nothing. Perfect. Yeah, that sucker's sharp again. This thing's very sharp. I've sharpened this thing like super duper sharp. All right, that's not what I wanted to do though. Check this thing out, guys. I got a video coming. I'm probably gonna work on it tomorrow. I'm gonna do top 10 best boot knives. So I'm doing all different types of boot knives. I bought this sucker right here. Check that out. I'm doing boot knives. I got a bunch of different ones. Check out this sucker. That's a beautiful boot knife right there. This is a very thin, very pokey, very slicey, but my goodness, it is light. This is a perfect boot knife right here. Great boot knife. Kershaw, by the way. But I have a whole bunch of them, all different kinds, from big, small. We're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna do a badass boot knife video tomorrow. Punch dagger. All right, so let's get back to business. Oh my God, it feels like forever since I've caught a live. What's up, Arrowhead? Just sat down to sharpen the chef knife. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. You know what? Speaking of that, we're gonna sharpen up a chef knife with you, because I want to sharpen up this 14C28M because it did not come very sharp. Supposedly USA made. It's about 20 bucks on Blade HQ. I just posted it in a video yesterday, I think. So if you want to check that out, you can. What do you think of K of the 6-inch Smith Tri-Hone Sharpening? Hold on. Tri-Hone Sharpening Black. Okay, so I'm guessing you're talking about an Arkansas Black. Is that what you're talking about? The Smith's Tri-Hone. Are you talking, when you say Tri-Hone, are you talking about like something like this? This is from Lansky, so I know it's not exactly what you're talking about, but you're talking about this though, right? This one only has white ceramic, I think, yeah. No, it does have the black right there. More like dark brown. This is a medium, this is an ultra fine. That's the difference. So I'm guessing you're talking about, that is aggressive. I'm guessing Smith Tri-Stone Sharpening Black. Oh, Sharpening Black. Oh, okay. Okay, so the Tri-Stones, yes, I have a bunch of them. They're great. I personally would recommend getting an alt diamond Tri-Stone. At the very least, make sure your first stone is a diamond. Like I have one right here you can get for like 40 bucks. It's like 35, 40 bucks. The most I've ever seen it for is 50 bucks. Well, no, it used to be like 100, but now you can get them really cheap. This is a Tri-Stone. It's a 325 150, 325, and 1200. Perfect, exactly what you want. Now the only problem is that when you get up to the when you're at the 150, these lines right here, they are a bit aggressive. They're a bit deep, but as you can see, you can easily get past them. But this is very affordable and it's big. That's what the beauty of it. The other ones you're looking at are like this big, by the way. They're not big at all. Trust me, I have the exact one you're talking about, and it's not very big, but it does work. It does work. It absolutely works. You can get that as long as you get the diamond. It has a diamond, an Arkansas, and then an India stone, which is an aluminum oxide stone. I personally, if I was you, I would just get some Lansky diamond plates like this. These work really well. You can just flip it. But if that works, if that's your budget and that's what you're looking at, go ahead and get it. It does work. The thing is though, is that the problem, this is the issue that I'm saying. Diamonds, you don't have to use any lubrication, right? You just go. You see me right now. I don't have to put nothing on it. I can just start sharpening. With an Arkansas, you need oil. And with the the other stone that's on there, you need oil too. Those are oil stones. So you're gonna have to put oil on them, and it's like, if you can get away with just using dry, like you'll find out, like when you get used to it, it's not such a big deal. But at first, man, when you got fucking oil everywhere, it's all over your hands are soaked, especially with water. When you have wet stones, your hands get wrinkly, and I hate it. Knife tube is popping off tonight. All right, so we got the Ontario USA made chef knife in 14C 28N. It's only about 18 bones on Blade HQ, link down in the description. We're gonna sharpen this puppy up. Let's see, they said 58 to 59 or 58 to 60 HRC. Someone go look it up. Blade HQ, link down in the description. Just type in Ontario. This is like the first thing that'll pop up. Tell me what HRC they said this is. I think they said 58 to 60, but we're gonna find out. Look at how fast that stuff's cutting. Look at that. Cutting fast. Oh yeah, she's cutting really fast. And you can do it in sections where you do part right here, do the middle, and then the tip. You can do it in 3 sections or 2 sections. 1 section, 2 section. I like to do it all. I always blend it either way. If I'm gonna work on the heel and then move my way up, I always blend it. Now, like I was saying earlier, never, ever, ever put pressure with this hand. When I'm like this, I'm not applying pressure. I'm literally just touching it. My fingers are doing the weight. If I need to focus right here really bad, the amount of pressure I'm gonna push, you wouldn't even notice if I put it on your hand. You wouldn't notice the difference. That's how light it is. And then with pressure, with this hand, the amount of pressure I'm pushing down, I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'd say 2 pounds, but basically you can apply all the pressure you want. You can put as much pressure as you want down there, as long as you can hold it. If you can't hold it, then it don't do you any good. So as long as you can maintain it, because the biggest thing is your fatigue, right? If you start getting fatigued in 30 seconds, then it's not gonna do you any good. So you wanna be able to maintain the amount of pressure you're gonna do, angle-wise, so you're not pushing down and lowering your angle, and fatigue-wise, where you're not gonna burn yourself out. So light pressure works just fine, or medium pressure. Typically, you don't want to do heavy pressure unless if you're really hogging some steel off and you don't care about your angle so much. Relaxing video for Friday night entertainment. Yeah, 57 to 59. Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, Freedom Fox. It's probably more on the 57 side. I would imagine, right? It's an $18 USA made knife. Mr. Duck, same process on each stone. After 1200, reduce your burn, hit the strop. Yeah, you can stop at whatever stone you want. I personally would recommend 400 grit or above, 600 grit, 1200 grit, 3000 grit. You can stop at any one of those. It just depends on what your preference is for toothiness and the steel you're doing and whatever. But yeah, you do the same process. So what I'm going to do is I'm holding my angle, locking my wrist, using my elbow to get the blade shape. So this doesn't have very much belly, as you can see, but there is a little bit. See, for me to get the tip, I need to raise my elbow. Okay, so I'm just lifting my elbow, right? That's it. Locking my wrist. So the same thing goes when I have it at an angle. So now I have it at an angle because I want my scratches to go this way, right? Like this. You want your scratches to go at an angle because that's the direction you're going to cut. And it helps you maintain, one, the angle when you're sharpening, and two, you hit more of the stone on the knife or more of the knife on the stone. It's like, look how much, if I'm only going to do right here and go straight up and down, I'm not hitting as much edge as I'm doing right here. But also, if you're going to go straight back and forth, that's fine. But I personally say you should do them all that way then. That means you need to do the entire knife like that so that your scratches are running straight up and down. You don't want your scratches running this way, this way, this way, like just like all like this. Because the point of sharpening an edge is to have microscopic serrations like this. So you usually want them uniform. Unless if you're like doing a certain type of edge that's not made for edge retention. It's, you know, you want it slick. I need a decent kitchen knife. Would you recommend this one? No, I wouldn't recommend this one yet because I just got it, so I can't recommend it yet. I'm testing it out now. It's $18. So I would say for what you're getting, I think this is an amazing value. 14C28N. My other 14C28N was $100. So just put that, made in China. This is made in the USA. Now that one's way better quality though, like 10 times better quality. This is a cheap, affordable kitchen knife. I would recommend going to Vitrified or Shanzhou for an affordable, high-quality knife. With Vitrified, they're linked down in the description. Just go down in the description. Vitrified's down there. You can just type in kitchen knife or chef knives in their search bar, and you'll find some very nice 9CR Damascus knives. They're very good quality. I've bought multiple people's sets of them, so I'm not just saying it. Like, I literally, this is the set that I personally buy for family members and stuff. And then Shanzhou has some really nice ones. For an example, I have one here somewhere. I thought I brought one. I was going to show you guys, but now I don't know where the fuck it's at. So, guess I'm a dickhead. Sorry. But Shanzhou, I think they're linked down in the description. I might have taken them out because I had to lower back the amount of links, but if you just go back like 5 full-length videos, you'll see it down in the description. But yeah, there's a lot of great kitchen knife companies, but if you want affordability and you want high quality, then I would say go to one of those two guys. Now if you want really high quality, then I'd go, you know, like with like a Steve Kalari or something, but that's going to be much more expensive and harder to get and stuff like that. The Vitrifieds are always available. You can even find them on Amazon. Fuck, you can find the Shanzhous on Amazon. The cool thing, you know what? The one we sharpened just a little bit ago was a Shanzhou. The one in ZD, right here. Oh no, this is a Xingzuo. Okay, so this is a good company too. This is ZDP 189, 65 to 67 HRC. This one's going to be a little bit more expensive, but just look for this brand in VG10. VG10 or 10CR. That is a good Japanese chef knife steel. It was literally designed for chef knives. Now, some shitty chef knives are not going to be as good a quality VG10 or OS 10 or 10CR. They're the same thing basically. But if you go to some of the reputable, decent companies, like I said, Vitrified, Shanzhou, Xingzona, whatever the fuck the name is, those are pretty good. Might not be able to say their names, but I've tested their knives. And they're good. But do you like, oh yeah, also, you know who else? I can't think of the name. I think that's the Shanzhou. I think Trivisa owns that company. Checking out Vitrified, they seem incredibly affordable. Thanks, brother. Yep, they're out. They're very affordable, but they're really good though. You're gonna be surprised when you get it. You're gonna be like, holy shit. How does the Lansky diamond benchstone compare to a Toma? Oh no comparison at all. A Toma is diamond clusters. So this uses little diamond. Let me get a newer one or something. I'm trying to find one with, so you can really see. So if you look, this is using diamond clusters. See how they're like little nuggets? Those are like little pyramids of diamonds. So this is hyper aggressive. This is high performance cutting power right here. Come on, zoom out, fucker. This is just a sprinkle of diamonds over the surface. So if I dust it off and you zoom in on this, it's not going to be little clusters. It's just diamonds spread throughout the surface. The difference is the clusters are like pyramids. So they're much more aggressive and they last much longer. By the time this one's wore out, this one will still last much longer. So they last longer and they cut faster and better now. But the thing is, though, is that they are more expensive, though, right? When you're on a budget, you might not be able to spend 50 bucks a diamond plate. You might want to just spend a few bucks and get 2 diamond plates. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. This is going to cut just fine. You're going to get the same quality of an edge. It's just, it's going to wear off faster and it's not going to cut as fast. And it will, with any diamond plate, by the way, except for bonded diamond, any diamond plate where the diamonds are just on the surface, they do break in. So basically, like say if they say they'll start out like at 100 grit, say if they're a 300 grit diamond plate, right? They'll start out at 100 grit and they'll break into a 300 grit, right? That's what atomas do. So the 400 grit starts out at like a 150, 200 grit. Then it breaks into a 400 grit after a few sharpenings. Then from there, it'll be a 400 grit for a long time, but eventually it'll turn into like a 600 grit, then a 650, then a 700 grit. So they basically wear out until they die, but it takes a long time. So it's not like it's just overnight. And you'll know when it's happening because it won't cut as fast. And you'll see it too. I got to get this tip a little bit. See how I'm working on that tip, but then I blend it in. Blend it in, blend it in. See how I'm doing the turn motion, like I said earlier? That works really good. We got a burr from heel to tip. Chop that bitch off. Let's switch the stone. Flip it over to this side. This is super aggressive. Let me use this other fine because this one's broken in. This one's not broken in yet. Which one was it? It's hard to tell with these guys. I do have some other stones from Lansky that we could use, so, but Lansky's awesome though. If you want a very, very cheap set, like a fixed angled set, you get one of these and get the base. I got the base over there. I didn't bring it over. But make sure you get the diamond plate ones. I do not recommend personally this one. This is the one I started out when I was a kid. It gives you the honing oil. It has 5 stones, including a ceramic, which is awesome. The ceramic you do want. That's awesome. But they're aluminum oxide stones. They're oil stones. This is diamond plates like we're using right here. So it cuts way faster. But the one thing you do want to add is the ceramic with this. And then the base. It's a cool set because it is an affordable set. But, oh, guys, I just bought, by the way, well, 2 things. One, TS Prof sent me a whole bunch of sharpening systems to give you guys. I mean, I got a KO3 to give you guys. Put it that way, a fucking $1,000 K03 to give one of you guys. So giveaway coming soon. But what I was gonna say is that somebody contacted me and was like, hey man, there's this knockoff TS Prof on Amazon for $100. He's like, do you think it's any good? I went over and looked at it and it looked good, so I bought it. So I got it right now. And I'll tell you what, it's shocking how fucking good that thing is for $100. I haven't tested it thoroughly or anything, but I've only put it together, so do not quote me on anything yet. I'm gonna test it in the next couple days. I'm gonna do a video on it in the next couple days. But it seems pretty damn promising. It's obviously nowhere near as good as a TS Prof. TS Prof's 10 times better, but for $100, it's like a cadet. That's what it's kind of like. But do you like raise the burr also with the one time? Yeah, so yeah, you want to raise a burr. So this is the thing. If you leave the burr on like I do, right? So I go through each stone and I just leave the burr on. So say if I sharpen this side, when I'm done with this side and I know my scratch pattern has replaced my old scratch pattern and I have a burr, I'll flip my burr over. So now it's back on this side. So it was over here like this. Then I just flipped it back over to this side. So now it's on that side, so now it's out of my way. When I go to the next stone, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna flip my burr over, I'm gonna finish on this side, then flip my burr over and finish on this side. So when I go through each stone, yes, I still develop another burr. Like if my burr pops off, I'm gonna develop another burr. If my burr's still there, I'm more focused on my scratch pattern than my burr. So yes, you definitely want to make sure you have a burr from heel to tip. You definitely want to do it because the burr probably will, like throughout a sharpening, if you do the way I do it, in many cases, the burr's going to pop off a couple times. But sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it hangs on the whole time and then it just pops off at the end. That's the way I, Ramet, what's up? Just donated $10. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Ramet just gifted 10 NEEVESKNIVES memberships. Hell yeah, man. Thank you guys. I appreciate the support, man. Ramet's always showing some love. Go show them some love by checking out their site. I believe I have it linked down in the description. If I do not, I think I do though, I should. If I do not, just look at one of my Ramet videos or just type in Ramet and go to their site. They got some awesome knives. But with burr, you want to develop a burr with each stone. Yes, absolutely. But the most important part is the scratch pattern. So if you look here, you'll see my scratches. It's a little blurry. Sorry, guys. Let me just get the piece of paper. This is what sucks about lives, man. My camera's good. You want your scratches to go all the way down from the top down to the apex. So if they're only at the very top of the bevel, then you haven't hit the apex. So with each stone, you want to make sure the new scratch pattern covers the entire bevel from the top of the bevel down to the apex from heel to tip. Now, after the first two stones, the other ones will go faster. The first stone takes the longest, second one takes the second longest, third one third longest, and then so on and so on, and the last ones are the fastest. If you do your work on the first two stones, everything else, I mean, is gravy, because basically the most difficult part is going to be the first two stones. That's you setting your bevel. Your bevel should be set from your first stone, and then the second stone just refines and removes all the very deep scratches and replaces it with a medium grit scratch pattern, which you could either deburr and use that as your edge, or move on to another stone and refine it even more. But if you are paying attention to your scratch pattern, then yes, you still want to get a burr, but the burr doesn't matter if you have not got your scratch pattern to replace the old one. Like right here, I do have a burr. I'm flipping it over. Now I'm going to work on this side. Not even sure what side I was on, but we'll just finish this side really quick again. And my scratch pattern is really good, but I did not hit. I wish I could show you this. I'm going to try to zoom in and show you this. So if you look at the very heel right here, you will see I did not hit the apex. You see how the scratches are running straight up and down, not at an angle? My scratches, look, are at an angle. See that? Now watch when I go to the heel. Hopefully you can see this. See right there? See the tip of the bevel? It's straight up and down. That's not my scratch pattern. So I'm not done with the heel. So it doesn't matter if I have a burr, right? I still need to work on that heel. Bet I hit it now. Oh yeah. No, actually I didn't completely. There's a little bit of a misgrind back there, and that happens too. Sometimes you'll get some misgrinds and you'll get areas that are a lot more difficult to hit. This being a $20 knife, I expect that. I expect that with even more expensive knives. There we go, we got it. And then now we can move on to another stone, which we could do the atomas. You guys want to see the atomas? Let's do the atomas. What do we got? We're going to a 600 now. That's a 12. Oh, no, that should have been a 6. We can go to 1200. Let's go to 1200. What? Just quiet for 1 second. Okay. You hear that? What? It's just a sub pump. No, it's me. It's my fingers. All right, so we have a 1200 grit diamond tone. We got the diamond clusters out. We got a burr on this side, right? So we develop a burr with every single side. This side, next stone, this side, always developing a burr. Right now we have the burr right here. I'm gonna flip it over. So now it's out of my way. One more pass, make sure it's completely out of the way. And now I'm gonna work on this side. You can hear how much finer this one is being a 1200, and this one's more broken in than the last ones we were using. Like I said, diamond plates always come typically more aggressive than they are. So if you're getting and that's not all companies, but the best companies do. Like the cheap companies will send you the stones at the exact grit that they already are. So like if it's a 400, it'll be a 400, but what'll happen is it'll break into a 600. That's why you want to be more aggressive. I was done, but I want to replace the scratches just a little bit better. There we go. And now we have a burr from heel to tip. Flip it over again. Now I'm going to develop another burr on this side. But remember, the burr isn't so important because I'm flipping it over anyways. Even if I removed it, you know, I'm obviously going to develop another burr, even if it's a very tiny one. You want to get good at feeling a burr, even if it's very tiny, but the scratch pattern is going to tell you everything. If you can look, and if you don't have good eyes, get a jeweler's loop so you can look at it. Because that will tell you everything you need to know by looking at the scratch pattern. That's the most important thing to chase, is the scratch pattern when sharpening a knife. That is literally the most important. It's not the burr, it's not anything but the scratch pattern. Because if you know how to identify the scratch pattern, then you know how to identify the burr. And right now, we are missing from here to here. So I have a burr, absolutely have a burr. But I would stop normally, but if you could see this, you would see I actually missed it on the last stone too, actually. I can see it, so I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to focus right there at the tip. Hopefully I can get it with this 1200. If not, I might have to drop it back down. I'm not perfect. I fuck up sometimes too. Yeah, we're going to drop it. I'm not going to be able to get that with that. We're going to grab a different Atoma. This one is a 400. So we're going to drop it way down really quick because I got to hit that tip. I wish I could show it to you guys. All right, fuck it. We're going to try it. So now look. Sorry, my bad. Now I'm gonna drop my video because of blood. See the top right there? See the apex? See how it's straight up and down? That's not my scratch pattern. That's a belt. That's from a belt sharpened edge. Now, if we go back here, you'll see it'll slowly disappear and it'll turn into my scratches. See it? And then back here. Sorry. Those are my scratches now. They're a little wonky because I just started grinding into them, so they're not perfect right now, but they will be when I'm done with this stone. They're gonna be. Thank you guys for joining me, by the way. I do appreciate all the support and everything. Ramet donated 20 new members. Shout out to Ramet, man, and shout out to all the new members. Just so the members know that there's a fucking giveaway right now. I shouldn't be telling you guys that, but there's a giveaway. You guys are going to have to go and find it. Maybe one of the other members will tell you where it's at. But we do have a giveaway going on right now, and it's a damn big giveaway. But other than that, I do 2 giveaways a month for the members. So if you want to stay signed up after signing up, we do 2 giveaways a month. We also do live sharpening videos on there. It's a lot more personal because I can talk to each individual person, you know, while I'm there, because, you know, it's not as many people. And, you know, not everybody can show up every time, but yeah, it's always a good time. Thank you, Todd, for letting me know, and thank you to Ramet for the 20 memberships. I do greatly appreciate that. Okay, so the tip, let's grind that sucker out. Blend it in. Remember, like I said, you don't want to do too many passes without blending. Do the tip, blend it in. That looks so much better already. There we go. Now, let me just blend it all in because I didn't do enough blending. The blending is just reassuring that my scratches are uniform, going at an angle from heel to tip. So now, let me do this side really quick because we're going to have to go back through the stones really quick. It'll go quick. Because my bevel's already set. Good enough. And then, well, fuck it. We'll just jump right to 1200. I can do that. Ramet with another 10 bones. Shout out to Ramet, man. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, Ramet. Sorry, I'm screaming. Ramet, thank you, man. You guys massively support the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. That is definitely some love. And you know what's cool? Is I like doing it too for guys in the knife community. I love that the community is so tight and so awesome. We take care of each other, we donate to each other, we buy each other's products. We are what makes the whole community go around, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So anybody looking for the best community ever, the knife community is literally the best, the most friendliest people, the mostly honest people. There are, you know, some shitheads obviously in any group, but yeah, they are some of the best people I've ever met have been from the knife community. And you know, it's awesome showing love and support. It's kind of like this guy in North Carolina recently. His house got wiped out, or his whole business. He was a knife maker. And Melissa Backwoods did a video. You know, she was crying actually because she was so sad about what was happening, and she was trying to share his GoFundMe. In like one day, he reached like $60,000 or something. I donated $100, but not like I'm bragging about that or anything. I shouldn't even said that. I don't know why I said that. But he generated, I don't know what it's at now. It's probably at 100,000 or so, I would imagine. He was trying to get up, I think, 200,000 or something like that because he lost his whole business, house, everything. He was, oh, at the time too, his wife, I don't know what happened. I feel bad for even saying anything. At the time, his wife was missing. And I don't even know if they ever found her. I don't know. It's sad. It's a very sad fucking thing. And shout out to everybody that's in, you know, those areas that are getting hit. I feel horrible about you guys, what's going on with you guys. I really, truly wish I was closer. I would 100% put boots on the ground and be trying to help people. I'm too far away, obviously, but it's, yeah, it's a horrible thing. There's a lot of stones and diamond plates out there, and are not all equal. I would look for what Neeves or the Outdoor 55 recommend. Thank you. Yes, I can't tell you how much I agree with that. There are a lot of diamond plates out there. There's a lot of stones out there, but they are not all made equally, especially with diamond plates. Like I said, I personally recommend Atoma's #1 for diamond plates. #2 would be Ultra Sharper DMT. And then 3, Sharpall is a good one. You can go Sharpall, Lansky. Lansky, you know, has some good ones. They're a little bit more limited though, because they don't have the plates for the base. But if you just want a quick one and done thing, you know, and then, but you can get something like this and then also get something like this, or, you know, you can, that's what I do. I buy literally just a little bit of everything. Sometimes I want like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And it works out good because then you can see things that you like more, and the ones that you like the most you can invest more in. But Atomas are always going to be the best. All right, so we're at 1200 grit. We do have a burr from heel to tip. I do not want to deburr on this stone. I want to deburr on my 3K, like I was telling you guys earlier. This is a 3K CBN, which is basically a diamond. It's technically not diamond, but it's just like a diamond. CBN bonded, metal bonded stone. So it's a metal bond. It's like copper and zinc or something with CBN infused. Heel, tip to heel. Like I said, we're going to fold the serrations back over like dominoes. Then we're going to do same thing on the other side. We're going to go back and forth. Tip to heel. Tip to heel. Tip to heel. A little bit of a higher angle, no pressure. No pressure at all with this. Then we're going to do heel to tip. That's feeling pretty good. 14C does love getting a polished edge. I did not go to a polish. I only went to 1200 grit. But this stuff feels like it would have taken a good polish. I'm surprised. This is the thing with 14C28M. Even a $20 knife, this heat treat could be done well. And, you know, typically with any other steel, I would never, ever, ever say that a USA-made knife for 20 bucks is going to have anywhere near a good heat treatment. It's just hard to do. It's impossible to do. In China, they can do it because, you know, you know, their shit cost is a lot different than ours. But here, it's just impossible. But with 14C, it was a steel that, whoo-hoo, it's a steel designed for rapid heat treatments. Like we get right here, you know, like if you're going to do a $20 knife, it obviously needs to have a quick heat treatment. They need to be able to produce a lot of them very quickly. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is so damn sharp. Look at that S cut. This is so sharp. My goodness, that is sharp. That's damn near fuck you sharp. Damn near. It's holy shit sharp for sure. Almost fuck you sharp. It's damn close to it. But that's the beauty with 14C. 14C has the ability to take some ridiculous sharp edges. It was designed for it. It was designed for razor blades. So it was designed to be heat treated on a conveyor belt, to have good or super high levels of toughness. Very, very tough steel. That's why it also works as a great steel for anything. Folding knives, pocket knives, kitchen knives, chef knives, hunting knives, chopping knives, doesn't matter. It's got a very, very high level of toughness with a okay amount of edge retention. The edge retention is a little bit low. It's like I say it's a 4, but other companies, steel testers say it's a 3. So I say it's a 3.5 to 4 out of 10. But there's a lot of, but that's a 3.5 to 4 out of 10 is like 10 times better than your average kitchen knife. Average kitchen knife steels are made out of like pot metal. Like it's just cheap stainless, German stainless, no-name stainless steel. Those are all shit. They're absolute shit. They're probably 55, 54 HRC, and they're made of a no-name mystery steel that somebody, you know, it's just garbage. This is way, way better than that. This is an actual steel that can be used on good cutlery. It's personally my favorite budget steel. 14C, Nitro V. I'm gonna use this one really quick. There we go. I felt something needed to get gotten. My goodness, that is sharp. We'll see how it holds up. I think it'll do pretty decent, especially because of the type of knife it is. 14C is my favorite. D2 for 14. So D2, it depends. D2, I'm gonna go grab something. I'm gonna keep talking. D2, the thing with D2, the problem with D2 is that D2 was never designed for production. Basically meaning like that it was designed for custom heat treatments. Well, when you're doing a custom heat treatment, you can do 5, 10 knives at a time, or even one knife at a time. You don't, what the hell? You don't have to do 1,000 of them at a time or hundreds at a time. When you get to that level where you're doing so many at a time, it's very difficult to do a very, very controlled heat treatment. Where the fuck is my jewel at? So, hang on one second, guys. So with 14C, that steel is very easy for companies to do a mass-produced heat treatment. So D2 isn't created equally. That's what I'm trying to say. You can get shit D2, you can get good D2. All D2 is going to be different. You can get the same company. If you want a good company's D2, I say Civivi is doing probably the best D2 next to like Benchmade. But Benchmade's a CPM D2. CPM D2 is a powdered D2. Where the fuck is my jewel at? Sorry guys, I know I'm walking around with you in my house trying to find something, but there we go. So it is it's a good steel, sorry, it's a powdered steel, CPM D2, and it's done pretty well depending on who's doing it. Like I said, Benchmade's using it, they do a good job. Medford uses, they do a great job. But most companies don't do as good of a job. If you want to go to cheap companies that are doing it well cheaply, Civivi's doing a decent job. But 14C, you're going to have a better chance of getting a better heat treatment. However, D2 does have way more edge retention than 14C when it's done well. So if you have D2 done well, 14C done well, D2 is going to smoke 14C in edge retention. However, what we typically see is 14C being equal to D2, sometimes slightly better, sometimes slightly below, because it depends on how D2 is doing. Because D2, you know, like I said, it's a little finicky. So it depends. The problem is that it's so finicky during the heat treatment process. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, KUBEY does a decent job with D2. I would say the majority of the main names you see down in the description do a decent job. Yeah, Civivi, Sencut, well, same company. Kaiser was, I don't think Kaiser's using it anymore. They sometimes use it on some stuff, but KUBEY does a really good job. Concept, who else? Yeah, all those companies. Sativian, they do okay. They're not as good as the other ones. They're okay. Not great, but okay. Yeah, I do have a video sharpening some scissors, and yes, I do sharpen some scissors. I do have a fixed angle system that will do scissors, so I might even do a video on those soon. I'm gonna get some arrowheads very soon, and I'm gonna do a sharpening video on arrowheads for hunters. I think that'll be a cool video. Let me grab something. See, like this would be probably a garbage heat treatment right here. This is like, I don't know, it was like 20 bucks. I got it for a boot knife video. I wanted to see how it would be. It's actually pretty good. And you'd think for like a boot knife, you're not looking, if you're looking for a boot knife to be a self-defense knife, not a worker, then you're not really so worried about the heat treatment as much. I mean, as long as it won't break, you know, because I guess that could happen if it's a bad heat treatment. All right, I'm not doing archery right now, but I'm probably gonna go and buy my nephew a bow and arrow tomorrow to teach him how to shoot. And I'd love to get back into it one day. I tried to I tried calling the courts today to see if I could get my fucking my gun rights back, but they said no, so I'm fucked. It is what it is. You know, it's you know, when you got a bad pass, you know, you got to pay the cost. So I guess that's my payment. King of knives, yes, I did as well. Use very little pressure so the stone can swivel and keep going, and the tip will get better. Also, make sure the tip is parallel. More stropping, less shopping. More stropping, less shopping. All right, let's go. Let me get my Atoma 140 out. We could grab that tri-stone. You can find this, by the way. Links in the description of the NEEVESKNIVES store. Not Neve Knife Go, but the NEEVESKNIVES store and sharpening supplies. This guy right here. Give me a different knife. Oh yeah, I wanted to fucking tune this puppy up. So this is a boot knife I got. I got a boot knife for the video I'm going to be doing soon. I wanted to test it out. It's a spear point blade. Love the blade shape. I love the entire profile. However, the edge sucks on it, and I'm guessing the heat treatment's absolute shit. When the edges are this bad, it just tells me that the steel's probably horrible too, because heat treatment directly affects the edge's ability to take a super good edge. Now, I'm not saying it's always. There are some knives that'll have shit edges and the steel's great. It's just whoever sharpened it. That knife, the Kara, fuck. And kids were playing with. What was it? That is a Civivi. Oh man, what is the name of it? It's a newer one. I did a video on it not long ago. It's, yeah, here you can see it's got a fuller down it. Ah, fuck. It's a Civivi. Just go to Civivi. What? What? No. This is a newer one. If you just go to Civivi's site, it's not brand new, so it's not probably going to be in the new arrivals, but you'll find it. Just go to the Civivi. The link's down in the description to Civivi. Now, there's a discount code, though, 15% off. Otherwise, you can go to Blade HQ and find it, too. You could do the archery. It's pretty cool and sound. Yeah, no, I know, and that's probably what I'm going to have to go back and do. Or get air-powered. I don't mind doing air-powered because, actually, man, there's some crazy powerful air-powered guns right now. I was looking at some they're using some pistol options that were really good. But some rifle options. I've done some air-powered hunting before, and there's some very powerful air-powered rifles. And then now they have some really good semi-automatic ones. Wow, this thing is just cruising through the steel. This must be like super soft. See, this is the thing, you know, like people will be like, oh, well, if it's super hard, it's gonna take you forever to sharpen. Take you a little bit longer, but it's not gonna take you much longer if you're using the right abrasive. Good abrasive doesn't take you very long. But when it's soft, it's just like grinding through it. It's kind of like, and I always say this analogy, trying to sharpen Play-Doh versus trying to sharpen a stick, or trying to sharpen a crayon versus trying to sharpen a stick. Which one's gonna go better? A stick, right? Because the crayon is just too soft, right? Same thing with a soft steel. Like this right now, I'm just like, it's like mushing through it. And it's just like tearing it apart. But that, while it might go a lot faster, that's not a good thing. Just because it goes faster doesn't mean it leads to better results. Now, it does, so it does go better if the steel is good and it goes faster. That does lead to better results because you're not fatigued and all that stuff. But as long as, you know, you're not sitting there on the stone for a super, super long time and getting sick of it, bored and fatigued, then yeah, because yeah, if it goes nice and smooth, nice and fast, and it's a good heat treatment, that's when you get the best results. You know, so what I have to do, just so this is another trick, guys, with freehand that you cannot do with fixed angle. So here you guys go. This is an expert tactic. So right now, my bevel is set from here to here, okay? Where I'm missing is the back of the bevel at the tip. And the reason why is because even though I'm holding the same angle all the way up to the tip, see how the back of the bevel's not hit? It's a different angle, that's why. So what I'm gonna do, and this is the trick. So typically I'd lock my wrist, and as I'm coming across, when I go to get to the belly right here, I'm gonna lift my elbow to get to the tip, right? That's the same angle right there as this. It's all the same angle because I have not changed this. I'm still at that same angle. I'm just lifting my elbow. Same angle like this, right? Now what I'm gonna do is when I get to my belly, instead of locking it, I'm gonna go to my belly, and then as soon as I get to here, I'm gonna take my wrist, I'm gonna dip it. I'm gonna take my pinky knuckle and drop it down. That's gonna get the back of the bevel. Now, if it was the opposite way, I wouldn't do it that way. I would do it the other way. So pinky up, basically, instead of down. So as I'm going across right now, I'm gonna dip my wrist. You won't be able to notice it, but I'm doing it because it's a subtle movement. Like, very subtle. Right there, I'm doing it. I'm just barely going like this. Expert trick. Bought a black powder. Yeah, black powder is another one I can do. Those are very powerful too. I mean, same power, if not more powerful than a regular firearm. The problem is just the slow reloading. Even if you get a 6-shot, which you can load 5 in because you want to leave one chamber open. Even if you do a 5-shot, it's still, it's You can't do a quick reload unless if you have another one, another firearm, or sorry, another black powder right or pistol. And then you can make preloads. There is a way, paper preloads, but they're so slow going in and everything. You know, it's not something that's going to be the best in certain situations. However, I look at it a couple different ways. So like one, if I'm in my house, I'm most likely, like as long as my family's secure, if I have somebody to worry about, then I'm going. If I have nobody to worry about and my family's secure, I'm posting. I'm posting up. I'm waiting because I want the sneak attack, right? I don't want to get into a one-on-one across the room in a fucking gunfight. I want to split your head with a fucking axe coming around the corner, right? I just think that would be the better way to go because I have the surprise. You do not. I know you're coming. You don't know where I'm at. So that's kind of what I would go for anyway. So in that case, I you know, probably firearm is, yeah, it'd probably do a lot better. But you know, I could probably get you with the damn anything. But that's not saying always true. I mean, I've known some crazy home invasion shit. I recently had a guy I knew that got taken hostage. But yeah, it's better to have something. But what it is you want it if you have to go on the attack. Like if your family's out in a room or something like that, or outside, you know, fucking, even when you think about animals and stuff like that. And that's another reason why I think carrying a blade is such a good idea, because if a dog ever attacks your children or family that's young, you might not want to take that shot at that animal. It might do you better just to run up and shove something in its neck. As long as it's hitting the edge, I just wait until a few more sharpenings until it hits naturally. No, so this one was too big, Todd. It was a big difference. So in order for that to hit, it would have taken like 20 sharpenings. It was way too much. It wasn't just a little bit. It was literally bigger than my bevel size. My bevel was already kind of big and it was way bigger than that. So, you know, but I do agree though. In most circumstances, I would say just let it ride. Let it ride, get it on the next sharpening or whatever. So we have the burr on this side, we have a heavy burr. Because when you remove steel like that, on a steel like this, you can't help but look at that. I can't even move my finger. It's literally like, but listen to that burr. Watch it when it hits a strop. See how it cuts it? Knock that fucker back. Knock it back. Knock it back. Jared, I can't seem to find any of those Lansky fixed angle sharpening systems like the one you had. Yeah. Did you get it from like a store? No. You can go right down in the description. Go down in the description. Go to Sharpening Supplies, the NEEVESKNIVES Sharpening Supplies, and go to the top search bar and just type in Lansky sharpening system. But make sure, get the diamond one. Don't get the aluminum oxide one or the natural stones. None of the oil stones. Get the diamond plates. You will thank me later, I promise you. The difference is like, it's so much more time using the other ones, and there's so much more effort involved. Get the diamonds, and if you want, I mean, I can recommend you another system like the WorkSharp Professional Precision Adjust. That's another good one. Or this new fake ass TS Prof for $100. It's fake. It's not a real TS Prof, but it's pretty damn good. That's all I'm gonna say. It's pretty good so far. It looks good. I haven't tested it completely, but it looks pretty damn good so far. I'll be showing it in a video soon because I'm starting to test it probably tomorrow. Yeah, it's going really good. All right. Flip that burr over. So once you got past that first stone, man, the rest of them go fast. It's that first stone that gets you, but you want to get all your work done with the first one, because like, let's say you leave a piece not done that you are planning on getting and you want to make sure you get it. Trying to get it on the next stone typically is not going to go well. The only time is like if it's such a small amount and you've sharpened for a very long time, so you know that the next stone will get it out. But a lot of times you're wrong. Even if you're a pro, you'll get to the next one and you're like, damn it, that's going to take more steel than I thought. All right, we're pretty much done with this side already. This is such a soft steel right here, guys. I don't even need to sharpen this on diamonds. I could have sharpened this on an Arkansas. It's so fine, or such a soft steel. It did not require diamonds for sure, but diamonds cut everything. So I like using diamonds on pretty much everything. Unless certain carbon steels, I still like to use diamonds on it, but I would prefer to use a natural or a whetstone, something like that. Because carbon steels, man, they just, especially just chef knives period, like on a king water stone or something like that. I love sharpening them on my bonded diamonds too, just as much. But if it's not my bonded diamonds, then I would prefer to have like a king whetstone or something on those. It feels so good. But I wouldn't recommend those stones for a lot of other steels though. Chef knives are typically done with simple steels. Not always. Like if you got a Steve Kalari custom, that might be different. All right, bevel's looking good. We have a little bit of the scratch pattern to hit the apex right here. I could jump over to the 1200 Atoma. This one's about wore out. I've had this thing for years. That's pretty good. Yeah, you can see this one's almost wore out. It still has a lot of life left, don't get me wrong. This thing will still last for probably another 6 months to a year. It depends on how much I use it. Like if I hardly use this one, so it'll probably last me a couple more years. But if I was using it once a week or something, it'd probably last me another few months, 6 months or something. Maybe a little longer. I don't use it that often though. At the heel. There we go. Pretty good. Got a little bit of convexing, not much though. If you don't have the guides, I use to stack up pennies. Yeah, if you can chop like a little corner piece of wood. You can stack up like 9 quarters. Just make sure the wood is like 9 quarters high, and then just cut an angle. You know, that is like 17 degrees per side, I believe. I have a video. If you watch my knife sharpening hacks video, I show you the different angles depending on how high you stack quarters. But yeah, there's a lot of little tricks and techniques to sharpening, little things you can get by with. But I'll tell you what, it does feel good having the supplies. Just having a nice set of angle guides, having a decent set of stones, having a decent stone holder, having a decent stropping compound changes your ability to get incredible edges. Yes, you can still get edges sharp. You'll still be fine, but you will be much better off having good quality stuff in most cases. All right, let's do my burr removal. So, like I said, I like to remove my burr on the finer grits, the finer things. So we have a big old burr. We're gonna, no pressure, very gentle, do a reverse pass. We're gonna do that a few times. You can hear that damn burr. Very scratchy. Oh yeah, you can hear it. Do a couple forward passes. I'm doing this very gently. I'm not putting any pressure, but it's not coming off very easily though. See, this is the problem. the soft steels. While it's sharpened up very fast, look at the issue now. This burr might not come off, at least not easily. Yeah, she's still on there like she was the whole time. I'm gonna strike her on wood. This is a trick that did not work. It usually does work. Okay, that might have worked. Adding a little bit of pressure to my burr removal. A little bit more. Problem is this is disrupting my scratch pattern. And it will show on the apex. I'm not very happy with doing that, but it worked. Yeah, that's the problem, man. With soft steels, your burr is a motherfucker to get off in many cases, and it can be what makes or breaks your edge. And in many cases, it breaks it. That's why soft steels suck, unless if it's for specific things. It did come out nice and sharp, though. I will give it that. It did come out nice and sharp, but I prefer my burr to be very easy to remove so that I don't have to worry about having an issue out in the field or something like that. Like if I need to sharpen this out in the field, I don't want to have to deal with a burr that just won't come off, you know. And if you're like skinning an animal or something like that, you don't want the burr coming off in the, you know, in the meat and stuff like that. But anyways, let's shoot the shit for a few minutes. I could hone and strap up a couple knives, then we'll get the hell out of here. I see there's still a lot of people in here. I do appreciate you guys joining me. But yeah, this came out pretty sharp. It is pretty damn sharp. It feels good. It's way sharper than it was. This thing is like 10 times sharper than it was. It is a convex edge. I did convex it a bit just because it's so soft. It's harder to cut a V-ground bevel into a soft steel. It is much easier with a hard steel. Because like I said, sharpening a crayon versus sharpening a stick, right? A stick, you're going to be able to cut a V in much easier than a crayon. At least it'll hold it much better. Are you on every Friday night? I try to go on Fridays or Saturdays. It just depends on what day it is because I do members every 2 weeks, typically. And then I like to go on every Friday or Saturday every week. I try to. Yeah, I do. I'm doing lives again. I'm doing the vertical lives now because they do so much better in the algorithm. So like no comparison. So I prefer to do them. But the members, we do the sideways, obviously, typically, but lately it's been fucked up. It hasn't been letting me, that's geometry right there. Won't stick very good. But it hasn't been letting me do my sideways lives the past 2 members lives. We've had to do them vertically. USA Made Apparel. Thank you, Todd. Knife Co. What is the watch you are wearing? This one is, this one's by Big Idea Designs. This is a titanium bezel, obviously crystal glass, and then a Horween leather band. And yeah, it's a dope ass watch. It's an automatic, not very expensive, like 500, 550, something like that. But I like automatics. Most of well, I guess not most. I do have one Movado that's not an automatic. My most recent watch is the Movado Daytron. I fucking love that thing. This thing's awesome too. I really like this. Yeah, the one Kara got me. But this is a good watch though. Very light. It feels very good. Also, oh, I forgot to say, the beautiful thing with this, well, this is all titanium. But the band, you can buy other bands, like, so like I can make this an all black watch. I can make this whatever color I want, and I don't have to do anything to take it apart. Like, watch this. The band just slides right off. So you can switch bands like super easily. See, there's the movement. Big Idea Designs, link down in the description. But yeah, it's just so easy. You just fold, hopefully I'm doing it the right direction. Fold that through. And, oh, wrong way, sorry. I messed up. Yeah, fold it through and through. 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 And then through this, but here I'm gonna go a little bit higher to there. Then through this. And then that's it. Then bam. It's really easy. Did I do it the right direction? No, I did not, but I'll switch it. I'm gonna make sure I'm going the right direction this time. So like this way, like this, all the way to there, there. You can tell I don't change it that often looking at my Horween. Oh, did I mess that up again? What an idiot. Ever since you are my favorite transgender YouTuber. Well, thank you. Thank you. Favorite transgender YouTuber. I guess somebody's just a shit talker today. Well, you're my favorite tranny loving supporter. Get him. What? I think I felt like I did. I felt like I did. Why am I doing this so wrong? We got to start using proper pronouns around here. Out. Chris Jones, what's up, brother? Sup, champion? What is going on? 21 months. Can you believe it's been that dang long, man? That is crazy, man. It's actually really cool, though, man. It's crazy. It doesn't even feel like I've had a membership as long as I've had members. But think about it, man, that's a lot of money and giveaways and stuff, which I think is so awesome. There we go. Oh, I think I put the band baggers, whatever, though. I gotta get the band the other way. Chris Jones with the 2 bones. Sadly, the older you get, the faster time seems. I know that. I know that. Yeah, I definitely feel that big time. And I'm trying to get time back, so it feels even fucking faster for me. So, there we go. That band was just picking on me. I've never had that much struggle figuring out the direction after I take it off. Yes, I can. Love it. Thank you for the 2 bones, brother. 2 Bones Jones. But yeah, this is a badass Civivi. Button lock, and Civivis do the best job with button locks. Like if you want a button lock where you just push a button and it drops, and you also can push it and swing it out like a gravity knife, or you can flip it. Or, you know, if it's a flicker, it can flick. But this is a really good company to go with because they do the best button locks, period. These are the most solid button locks, the strongest button locks that I've noticed. Like maybe PIRATECH might have a stronger button lock with their automatics, maybe, and maybe a couple others. But as far as manual operating button locks, hands down, Civivi is the best. They absolutely are the best. I personally have yet to have found a company that does it better than them. And I say that because every company I can think of, all have gotten blade rock or lock rock or something in the pivot up and down. And Civivi, I've only had one that did that with up and down play on a button lock. Do I know what sharpening stones taste like? Diamond plates taste like diamonds and steel. Aluminum oxide stones taste like aluminum oxide. Metal bonded tastes like copper. So yes, I do. Yeah, they're probably better or field watches because leather, not the water. Well, you can get, they have other bands. I got, what the fuck's it called? I forget the name, a fabric belt. I got a black fabric one or black leather one and a black fabric. So they have all different style belts. So they have some in the field ones. They have a few different style watch too. They have a more affordable version of this, by the way, that takes just a battery instead of automatic. And then they also have other color options, you know, no coating. I wanted the coating one. I was looking for this exact combination. I wanted a titanium watch with titanium hardware. That's the one thing I was looking for. But I wanted a black and brown combination. That's what I was looking for, because I have color combinations that I like to do depending on what color belt, what color boots and stuff I'm wearing. And like with this, I would wear like a black jacket, possibly a brown shirt, but like a black jacket, blue jeans, whatever shirt with, you know, with a brown belt, brown boots, you know, feels good. Diamonds taste like diamonds. The schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Come on, you know the deals. You know the deal, Lucille. Let's see here. Put this shit away. I got a mess going right here. $4.99. Paul, shout out to you, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it very, very much. But yeah, if you guys want to know what you guys should get immediately, it's 3 things. You absolutely need to get a diamond rod and a ceramic rod. These are your best friends. If you do not want to, if you want to just get all in one, get a field sharpener. You can absolutely sharpen your knife right on this puppy. If I had a knife handy, as if I don't have a knife handy, right? You can easily sharpen right here, and it has the angle guides built in for you. Even with the ceramic, the angle guides are built in. It has an angle guide even for the strop. I wouldn't use it, but you got it. Strop, ceramic, and you can spin this to do fish hooks. It's got a coarse, it's got fish hooks, and then a fine, and then serrations. One of the best tools, and you can replace the diamond plates, and you can also do your arrowheads, not sharpen them, but you can hold them to tighten them up and stuff. But this is an awesome setup. But for like the kitchen or for bigger knives, if you want to do like a lot, like different stuff from small to big, get a diamond rod, 1200 grit, 600 to 1200 grit, and then a ceramic. They sometimes say 1200 grit for the ceramic, but they're not. They're like 3,000 to 5,000 grit. So if you can, try to find one that says that. If not, then who cares, because they're basically going to be that anyways. And then you can get an angle guide to put on there. Work Sharps comes with an angle guide. I got one behind me. I'm not going to grab it, but they have one that just naturally comes on there. I have the whole pack where I have every single angle. So I can just slide this on if I want a specific angle, and I can do it. But you can absolutely sharpen. And you see this one's got angle guides built in too. So you can absolutely sharpen your knife on this diamond plate very quickly too, actually. And then in the kitchen, this will be your best friend for your chef knives, and this will be good for your burr removal and for maintaining your edges. So like in the middle of the month, you've sharpened your knives at the beginning of the month and they're pretty sharp, but you know, you've been using them. You might want to just give them a couple light little gentle passes on the ceramic, and then move over to the third thing, a strop. You need a strop with a compound. I recommend getting diamond. You can use an aluminum oxide if you want. It will get you by. Diamonds last much longer on the plates, but they are much more expensive. But they spread really good. I personally love them. You can use gunny juice, stroppy stuff, or the stuff from Hepstone. That's the best. But any compound will work, so just you get something. But diamond rod, ceramic, and a strop. You can even just get a little strop like this if you don't have a lot of money. Get a little cheap fixed angled strap. You can do the same thing with ceramics too. You can get little tiny ceramics like this, or even smaller like the Lansky size. That will get you going. It'll give you something to have in the field. It'll give you something to use to tune up your edges. And then you can upgrade whenever you need to, or when you can. But while you're limited, if you're limited on funds, these are just some essentials that everybody should have, no matter who you are. I don't care if you don't sharpen knives at all. You have a kitchen knife, right? Everybody has a damn kitchen knife. If you don't have a kitchen knife, I don't know what you're doing here. But you should have a kitchen knife. So you should have a diamond and a ceramic rod. You can use these on your other knives too, but especially for your kitchen knives. And then if you're wanting to, you can get into sharpening and get yourself some stones and maintain your knives. The most beautiful thing is buying a nice quality knife and maintaining the sharpness. And I say that because it's like we're in this world of throw the shit away and buy a new one, right? Where we're using the cheapest of the cheapest. Most people do not know what sharp is. Like, I argue with people in the comments all the time about knife sharpening stuff. And, and I'm not talking shit or anything. I hope it doesn't sound like I am, because I know it does. But they've never even touched a sharp edge. They don't even know what sharp actually is, right? But most people don't, because most people have never even sharpened a good quality steel with a good quality heat treatment on a good quality stone. Most people have sharpened shit, no name stainless steels that don't get very sharp. But when you get a quality knife, right? Not a throwaway knife, you get a quality knife that you might even pass down to your kids or your grandkids or whatever, you're going to treat that a lot better, right? And its ability to get sharp and stay sharp is going to be way, way higher. So now you're going to be more likely to sharpen your edge. You're going to be more likely to hone it, strop it, maintain it. And when you cook, your food's going to come out better. It's going to come out more efficient. It's going to taste better. Everything's going to be better. And that goes for everything else in life too. Having a good pocket knife, right? I've never met somebody who started carrying a pocket knife and then stopped. Like, I've never met somebody who literally was carrying a pocket knife for 6 months and then said, you know what, I didn't need it. I never had that. Never seen that in my life. Maybe it's the people I'm around, but I've never met that guy. Most people that never carried a knife, they carry a knife for 2 weeks and they'll never not carry one, because you wind up finding out, shit, I use this thing for fucking everything. Sometimes I'm picking at stuff. Sometimes I need to open up a package. Sometimes I need to just cut some cheese open. Sometimes I need to pick out a splinter, whatever, you know. I use Ultra Sharp. Ultra Sharps are good. I recommend Ultra Sharps. Ultra Sharps are a really good budget brand. I got them linked down in the description in the Neeves Knife Sharpening Store. They are a great budget diamond plate. I recommend getting the 3x8s if you're going to get it, but you can get the 2x6s, which are about this size, for 50 or 62 bucks. You can get a 300, a 600, and a 1200 grit, which is a really good value. Dog one. Yeah, I was actually just at my my aunt's house. I brought my aunt and my cousin both a chef knife. I think they were Shanzus, and I sharpened up some of my aunt's kitchen knives while I was there, because I just felt them, and it's like they're so like, it's like, what are you doing with this thing? You're not cutting anything. Like, you're just mushing stuff. Like, that's like, I feel like it's like if I wanted to turn this knife around and just use the spine to cut something, that's what she's using. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? But she doesn't know any better, and she's never had a good quality knife. She's never felt even a sharp knife. But now when she's cooking, she's doing some laser beam shit. But, and once she does that, she's never going to want to go back to those other knives. And, well, I sharpened up some of them, but once they go dull, which they'll go dull quick because they're shit steels. But, you know, like I said, you know, if we can start getting into a different mindset of not trying to be the let's replace it, throw it away and get a new one. Everything's, you know, everything is just like, you know, disposable. We're living in this disposable world. And, you know, not even talking about all the garbage, right? Forget about all the garbage, just how we're losing the ability to maintain things, right? Like, I mean, when I was a kid, a teenager, and I don't mean to go back to the old days, but when I was a kid, I used to We used to maintain everything, man. You'd have a fucking car you'd fix weekly. But that was the norm. So you did that with everything. Everything was fixable. Like if it ain't broke, it don't fix it. And then when it is broke, fix it. You know? And then if you get to a point where you need to replace it, replace it. But you can, in many cases, if something's built well and is made out of good parts, good machinery, it can be fixed. You know, just like knives, right? Like they can, if they're good, they can be sharpened. Shit steels, yes, they can technically be sharpened, kinda, but they won't hold the edge. So sometimes it feels like a little useless because it's like you sharpen up the edge and then you use it once and it's like it's dull. So, you know, but when you have a good quality knife, you're like, you know, yeah, it'll last a little bit. So I don't want to say it'll go dull right away because it does depend on what you're cutting. If you're cutting fruit and vegetables and meat without hitting bones, you'll be fine for a little bit. But when you have a good quality knife, man, it just stays sharp so much longer. And honing and maintaining it and keeping it up to date, you know, just doing some very gentle passes on a ceramic rod, you'll get used to it and you'll start getting that touch, that feel for it. And you'll be able to basically hone and maintain. I can just about hone and maintain just about anything. Like I can grab just about any knife and make it sharp in like 30 seconds or less. I'm not saying it's a quality edge, but I can make it sharp by cutting in a micro bevel. And I'll show you guys how to do that right now. So I don't want to just grab anything. Well, here, I'm not gonna sit here and test it, but what I would do is I would do, like say this, I would use this. I would either one, start with a diamond and go with the high angle because it's a 20-degree edge bevel, or just go with the ceramic and literally cut in. This isn't very sharp, by the way, just so you know. It's not very sharp. So now I would, and this is not a very good steel either. I'd use that angle and I would just cut that in. And then go to the other side. Cut that side. Cut that side. And this is a double edge, so. Now I will do some gentle passes and I'll go more gentle and more gentle. This is a shit steel. And it is a lot sharper actually. Oh shit, I just realized this is only a single bevel knife. I was sitting here fucking sharpening the one side. Let me redo this side. So this side's not sharp. It did get sharper though. So it'll be just this angle right here. Sorry, I fucked up. So just like this, 2, 3. This is for a boot knife video that's coming up soon. Gentle now. And then I will do one single pass on the opposite side. Strip the burr off. There we go. Yeah, so that's like twice as sharp as it was. It's still not super sharp, but it's also a single bevel, super thick. You know, it's not the type of knife that's gonna get very sharp. Something like this. Yeah, so this would be one I could easily do because I just literally used it on a stone and it, you know, I fucked it all up knowing that I'm just gonna resharpen it. I should have used it on a piece of paper first. Too late now. My micro bevel's set. But that's how quick it was right there. It's sharp. Absolutely sharp. I could definitely cut paper. It might not be the best cutter because it's just a micro bevel, but it will cut. So, but you see how fast that was? You can do it with any knife. Just about any knife. If it has damages, then you're gonna have to use pressure with your ceramic. You can still do it, but there's gonna be hang-ups. So what'll happen is if you have chips in your edge, when you micro bevel, there'll be little spots like right there, like, and then it'll go and so it'll hang up. But if you do it often enough to where you don't let your knife, because if your edges are microchipped to shit, like, and it's dull and microchipped, then you've let it go way too long. If it's microchipped and sharp in some areas, well, then you just used a tard, you know, and it just needs to be, you know, tuned up. The Gendy stuff, I don't like it. I think it's just garbage. Stroppy stuff, Gunny Juice, or the new Hapstone stuff is really good. This stuff from Hapstone, it's really, really good stuff right here. Absolutely. Like, it is on par with the other stuff. Absolutely. Some people even might like it a little bit more. The beautiful thing with Stroppy stuff is it's color coordinated. That's what I like about it. People think looking rich, throwing away all and buying new. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that, to me, that doesn't make you look rich. Like, if I walk into a person's kitchen and I see a Japanese made chef knife, I'm thinking more rich than if I walk in and I see throwaway kitchen knives. Even if the kitchen doesn't look badass, like, I'm gonna look at them and be like, oh shit, these guys know what the fuck they're doing. I'm gonna think the food's about to be fire. That's what I'm gonna think. But same thing with a pocket knife. If I see somebody pull out a Spyderco, a Benchmade, a Hogue, even a Civivi or something, I'm going to think, okay, this guy, you know, is at least carrying a quality pocket knife. He's not carrying an M-Tech, right? He's not carrying a Gerber. So, you know, if you got a Gerber, just, I know some of you guys got Gerbers. I know some of you guys love your fucking Gerbers. I'm sure there's one or two good ones out there in the world somewhere, but they just haven't came across Neeves Knives table. Thank you, Todd. Kettleball. Oh, yeah, but I didn't. David Jewell with the 10 bones. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the doney. That's a good reason for buying another quality knife. Food tastes better. It really does, though. It also, the quality, because the reason why, this is why it tastes better, by the way. So just because I know some people are probably like, don't taste any better. Well, it does. And the reason why is because, let's say I'm cutting up a vegetable or a fruit. If I'm smashing it, I'm literally pushing out the juices that are supposed to be inside for flavor. When you have a nice sharp knife, it just goes right through. The juices never leave. The edges are nice and clean cut. They're not rippled, right? But when you're smashing it, right, it does a lot. So you're, same thing with your meats and stuff, right? Like, do you want the juice inside your bite of meat, or do you want it all over the table and you're eating a dry piece? So like, it's just so much cleaner cutting leads to the taste being better, the presentation being better, the ability to make, even the ability to make it. Because like say your goal is to chop up onions very, very, very fine, right? Like, if you have a really good knife where you can easily, quickly go through it all and not sit there and make a mess, in, you know, because you want to keep the onion together, right? You want to do the slices through it and then cut on top, whatever, you know, back and forth. You guys know the deal. If you don't, go watch a video. But you need a sharp knife for that. You're not doing it with a dull knife. It's just, you can't do it with a dull knife. Do you like the smooth or the suede side of the leather? So if it's an emulsion, like this, then you want smooth. If it's a paste, then you want like a crayon, or something like this. Then you want the suede. That's the way I like it. That's the way I do it, because the suede side for this stuff, it just soaks in really quick. And with this stuff, you see how I could spread it? It makes it easier to spread. So that's the best way I could say to do it. You can use either one on both, though. So if you only have one, just use whatever you got. But if you have the choice and you're looking to buy, then I would say buy that way, with that idea in mind. Yeah, just like all leathers aren't built the same, but you know, that's not as important as the emulsion. The emulsion is a more important part. And to get by, you can use a paint stick, by the way. If you are really limited on a budget, just get yourself an emulsion. So that's where you'll spend your money. And because the emulsion is going to be a little expensive. You're going to, like on the site that I run, we have like $12 bottles and then $30 bottles. $12 bottles get you about 40 coatings. So like 40 times you'll be able to recoat it. And each coating will last you 20 plus stropping. So it'll last you a little while. But 12 bucks, and then get a paint stick and then just drip it on the paint stick and spread it around. and use that. That will absolutely work good. Controversial opinion. I keep my kitchen knife only sharp enough to split a tomato skin. Any sharper and the blade starts to hang up on the cutting board. No, you know, hey, I've heard a few chefs say that they don't like their edges to be super duper sharp. Now, here's the thing though. Their super sharp is fuck you sharp. Their regular sharp is other people's unbelievably sharp. I've never seen anything as sharp as that. Do you know what I mean? So like, it's just different levels of what they believe sharp is. Like anybody else who grabs their knives, they're like, damn, this thing is sharp, right? But they're gonna be like, well, shit, I didn't even sharpen it as sharp as I could have. But it just depends on what you're doing, what you have, the type of board you have, because there's different densities in boards. You know, some boards are a little harder, denser, and then some people are more aggressive. The weight of your knife might be a little bit much where it is sticking, or the geometry, that's another factor. Like all these things play a part, and you know, just depending on what you're doing. And I'm actually wanting to, because I'm very knowledgeable about knives, but there is one part of knives I'm not knowledgeable in. And I'm admitting it. So I need to do my work, and I'm about to start studying, so don't you guys worry. But I don't know the names of all the chef knives. So like the Santukos and all the other fucking names. I think this is a Santuko. I could be wrong. But there's different shapes are called something else, something different, right? Like kind of like how like here we have strop points, spear points, sheep's foots, tantos, recurves, hawkbills. Chris, this has a name too, and I do not know them. They're Japanese. I know that. This is not a Japanese made knife, even though I do want to get a nice set of Japanese made knives, but I want to at least know the names of them. And I got to do some studying, and then I'm going to do a video so I can teach you guys. What's up, EDC? I can hear a monkey in the background. I know. We picked it up a couple weeks ago. Fucking thing's wild. It's wild. Get a hardwood cutting board, plastic. Yeah, don't be careful with the plastic. Yeah, I recently seen that too, because I do have a plastic one too, but now that I know how much plastic comes off of it when you're chopping, every time you're leaving plastic in your food, and that, my friend, kills your testosterone. It's one of the #1 killers of testosterone is, well, besides diet and health and life, drinking and shit like that, but eating with plastics in your food horribly affect your testosterone and just your hormones, period. Sharp at putting her heels up for a job. In my day today was like Christopher Moltsanti. Which knife would you recommend? I don't know who the fuck that is. Christopher Moltisanti. Elias, you watch a lot of my videos, sir. You know what I would recommend. I'm a knife maker, and I have to Google have the names of the Japanese knives my culinary knife maker buddy throws at me. Exactly. That's why I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to say it, because, I'm very knowledgeable in what I do know, but I do not know the names of these damn Japanese chef knife blade shapes, but not all. There are some American ones, I think. I don't even know for sure, but I think most names or most shapes of other chef knives all come from the Japanese, because I think they were the originals with the beautiful chef knives. So I'm not positive though. Stay away from bamboo cutting boards as well. They can splinter like glass. And I've never had a bamboo cutting board, but what I have done is I've installed bamboo floors. And the worst experience I ever had doing floors was with bamboo. That shit it shatters. Like, it is very hard, and the problem with it is the splinters, they're not like regular splinters. It's like shards of glass. That shit is dangerous, man. Like, you'll be sliding your hand up the board and it'll just go right through your fucking hand. So yeah, and when you're nailing too, the nailers don't want to go in all the way sometimes. So then you'll have to manually hammer it in, and that's when they can split. It was a nightmare. But wood, once you get used to it, it's different. But when you do it for the first time, if you're used to regular wood, like oak floors and stuff, and then you go to bamboo, yeah. What would it take to get you to demonstrate sharpening the Spyderco ceramic? You know, I don't have one, so I'd have to get one. I'd have to get one. I'd do it if I had one. If I had one, I'd also do a carbide blade if I had one. I need to get a company to send me one. Never try to break bamboo with your hands either. I've sliced my hands open doing it. Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Did you try to do that the other day to that thing you thought was bamboo?
No, that's different though. No, that's different because it's like, so certain types of bamboo that's live, you can bend and crack them. But when it's like dried wood, that's way different. And there's also different kinds, because there's like 1,000 different kinds of bamboo. Hey, make knives out of bamboo. They make knives out of bamboo for cutting certain vegetables. Stuff can be crazy sharp. No, German kitchen knives. I personally don't. I'll be honest. So, like, I'm sure there's some good ones out there, but they're typically going to be very budget, cheap knives. Like, anytime you see German stainless, what that says to me when I see that is run, get away. Don't buy. That's what it says to me. So I see German stainless, it says, do not buy me. I suck. That's what it says. So I stay away for that reason. I'm sure they have some good ones here and there, but they're typically not going to be good. Typically, I say for a decent kitchen knife, the bottom steel I would get is like a 420 or something like that. If it's not going to be a carbon, if it's carbon steel, like those are low edge retention steels, but they're very tough and they get very sharp and they're great kitchen knife steels. But for stainless knives, which are going to get sharper, or they're going to get just as sharp, if not sharper, depends on the steel and the heat treat and so on and so on. But they're going to stay sharp much longer. I say I would start out like 10CR or VG10, something like that. You can go all the way down to like 440C, 420HC, but VG10 is very easy to find in quality chef knives for like 30 bucks, 40 bucks, 50 bucks, all the way up to like 150 bucks.
What if it's just a stainless steel?
Then that means stay away too.
I think that's worse than German.
I think it's the exact same.
Well, I mean, like the marketing technique.
Slit all your
German is meant to
throats.
be like a little fancier. It's trying to like win you.
Yeah, it's trying to do that. Yeah, it's like just like surgical stainless.
Yeah, oh, surgical stainless. That's right.
Watch out for surgical.
This is a scalpel.
That shit gets surgical. Yeah, you know why you know it's garbage when you hear that? Because do you think they use high quality steels do you think surgeons use high quality steels? Like, that's just batshit crazy, right? Like,
I hope they're just at least clean.
Well, they're mass produced. They're literally mass produced, punched out of a machine, right? Like probably ground by a robot and then just spit out. They can't sell little replaceable blades that doctors use.
Meanwhile,
constantly.
The robot is K390.
Right. Oh man, hey Brad, thank you for the 5 bones. I've got one I could send you. You could test it as well. Yeah, well, get on me. I might be willing to do that. I got a lot of stuff on my plate right at the moment, but that might be something I'm willing to do. I'll at least sharpen it. I don't know if I'd be able to test it. Testing it, man, that takes so fucking long. I don't think I have the ability to test it. As far as edge retention wise, like I could test it sharpening wise and just use to it wise, but not edge retention wise. I am going to do some edge retention tests though coming up soon, and I'm going to do some videos in the shorts feed where I'm going to have you guys guess how many feet of cardboard. I won't know. So if there's no cheating, no nothing, I'm going to have you guys guess, and then like a week later, I'll do the edge retention test and we'll see who wins. Sounds like a good idea, right? And you guys will win something. Like, it's not like you guys just won because you won. You'll win something badass.
You can also win pride.
You'll win your pride. Yeah, you'll get your pride back because we know you need that. But more importantly, you'll get a badass knife. Fuck your pride. I bought Vossi kitchen knives. They're pretty good, honestly, especially for the price. Right, I love them for the price. I mean, you really can't beat it. You're getting a 9CR 18 MOV Damascus blade with the core steels, the 9CR. Beautiful Damascus. This is a San Mai. You can see the San Mai line. So that means it's ZDP 189 in the core, and then it's got a jacket of stainless, of a more stainless steel.
Hey, baby.
Yes.
I have a question.
What?
Do you think like the audience, like if they win one of those knives from the shorts where they're asking or like guessing the value, do you guys, like, if you can even hear me in chat, do you guys care, or does it up the value to you at all if Jared were to sign those prizes, or does it just not matter?
They don't give a shit.
I'm just curious. I'm just wondering because I've seen other people do that.
I mean, sign the box maybe. Is that what you're talking about? Because you wouldn't want to sign the knife.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't want the knife signed, but
Unless you do it with a Dremel. But yeah, you'd want to do it on the box. I'd do it on the box for some if they wanted that. Yes, they're saying sign it in blood.
cut yourself.
As soon as you said it, somebody already typed it. Sign it in blood.
I
Yeah.
can't see the comments.
My battery's at 15%, so we got about 10 more minutes, guys. Oh yeah, Jack. I think that looks dope. The new Banter with the crossbar lock looks badass. I think that's a great knife to be with the crossbar lock. I personally like the design. It has a tall spear point blade, which I love spear point blades. You know, like this, just broader. And it's got a very short, very neutral handle. I mean, you can use it in any grip very comfortably, and it's not a big knife. So I got a couple of them. And I like them. I think they're good knives. So using a crossbar lock, that makes it have the ability to be used tougher. Because, you know, not that it's a tough knife, but liner locks aren't necessarily tough. They can be tough. Like the Rat is very tough. The Ontario Rat, that's like a super tough liner lock. Emerson's are really tough, but not all. Just like any other lock, they're not all built equally. They could be the exact same lock and they're completely different. I am going to do a video on soon on like how to fix your locks, your detent strength, lock rock, and all that stuff. I'm going to show on multiple different knives in a short, just to really quickly, so you guys can know how to fix your day or fix your. Oh, I got scent of the day for you. I got scent of the day. I love the Shaman. I love the Shaman. Baby,
what?
Grab me this bottle right over here.
Which one?
Open this thing up. Oh, look, baby.
Just say
open the curtain thing right there. Right there in the corner. Yep. Today's fragrance of the day is Royal Forest. Grab me those pieces of papers over there underneath.
I'm gonna smell it.
I'm gonna let you grab me a piece of papers. Please and thank you.
You're welcome.
No, what is that?
It's the people I want to kill.
No, the paper for this. The paper list. There's.
Not the people I want to kill.
You can grab those other two bottles too.
These papers?
Yep. Okay, so this one is Royal Forest. Kara, you're gonna smell it.
Okay. Ooh.
That's fire, right?
That's nice. You know what it smells like?
Like fucking
if I was
fire.
walking in a forest and then like a royal king walked through.
So, and I am. So we have lemon, grapefruit, bergamot, apple, and orange rose. Those are the main notes. There's going to be much more than that in there. You can go look it up. It is very, very good.
It's a bit of mossiness in the best way.
Yeah, it does have a little bit of mossy, but in the best way, yeah. It's sweet. So it's got a sweet, not a spicy, but it's got something in it that's like a fresh spice.
Ozone layer.
Yeah, like an ozonic, yeah.
Ozonic. That was a word. No, like the ozone layer when it rains, that's what you smell.
It also feels like it has like a pineapple scent in there. So it's got like a very, a little bit of a woodiness too. It is very, very good. Now, one more. Where's those other two? So that one's the best one out of these three. This one is one Kara really likes. I think this.
You're putting me on the spot now.
Oh, what's that? Yeah. So this one Kara really likes. I already know it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This one's called Drift Open Road. This one's a very, very fresh scent.
That just changed the whole course of your evening.
No, the other one's better to me. So Drift Open Road has bergamot, black pepper, elemi, tonka bean, and cedar wood. But I'll tell you what, it is a very, very fresh shower jelly scent. It's a blue scent. It has like a hint of vanilla in there or something.
But it's not like a
No,
repetitive sauvage like every
no.
shower.
It's a very, very fresh shower gel, fresh out of the shower type of scent. Like, you know, if you were using like a man's shampoo, and then mixed with, like I said, a hint of vanilla and like a hint of like lavender.
I feel like if you were to start like working or moving, like, in, not to be gross, but kind of like sweating and stuff like that, it would actually get better. Almost
Possibly.
Like it would work well with the
Now,
male scent.
this one I'm not going to spray on myself. I don't think Kara's going to like this very much.
Oh God.
You might love it.
Oh, God.
What is it?
I like that a lot.
You like it? Okay, this is a very woody scent. Like this is woody wood. Like I have a few really good wood fragrances. Some of them I like, some of them I don't. This one I'm on the fence with. I kind of like it, but it has a very, like a, where'd that thing go? I need it. I need it. I need to look at it. It has a very loud oak. I think it's oak. It's oak or birch. It might be.
It's got a green polo scent.
No, it doesn't. Sandalwood, lavender, musk, oak moss, and patchouli. Sandalwood. So, I keep trying to smell my hand. The sandalwood, it's very woody. It literally smells like picture sawing through a 2x4 and the smell from the sawdust. Picture a sawdust with a little bit of green in there, like earthy greens, like from the oak moss. And then put that into like a manly scent, like a manly shampoo or something. That's what it smells like. All three are good, but the first two are fire. Especially that Royal Forest. I'm telling you guys can't go wrong with the Royal Forest. Best shit. Very good. I do not know the price on it. It could be expensive as shit. I don't know.
I'll say though that
but
last one.
it's my favorite though.
That last one, if you want a more sophisticated scent, if you're not like, 25, I would say like, if you're maybe, I don't know, 40s, 50s up, like that last scent would smell really good, fresh, still youthful, but like more in the age bracket of professionalism, but also you could use it to party, like go to like a party setting as well.
You know what this scent has? It has the one I was talking about, the Royal Forest. It has, if you guys know what Baccarat Rouge 540 smells like, it doesn't smell like that. Some of them do. It doesn't smell like that, but it's a very sweet candy scent. It has a hint of that in the background. So just so you can get an idea of the scent. It does have a very, very sweetness in the background, but it is covered up by a freshness, some sort of like mossiness. It's pretty good.
You know what's so weird?
All right, guys. What's up? No, hold on. I do knives. Hold on. About to hop off, but I do more fragrances than I do knives. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on one second. YSL, YEDP, and ADG has gotten to me the most unsolicited compliments other than Aventus. Try it one day. I have all of them. I love YSL. I got 4 different YSLs. My favorite right now is the Parfum, but I did really like Tuxedo. That shit's fire. But my favorite right now is Parfum. I don't have any more of the Tuxedo. I need to get some. What's up?
The relevance of what I was going to say totally lost.
I'm so sorry, baby. I'm a dick. I'm a dickhead. All right, go ahead. I'm going to wait for you.
You were saying something about some sweet in the background. I was going to be like, you know what else is sweet in the background?
My baby.
Me. But it's just,
You are, though. You are, though. You are.
It's ruined. But what knife is this, though, that I stole? Whoa. What knife is this that I stole?
This is the Solstice. This is the Acaso Solstice. We have the clip point, the Wharncliffe, and the drop point version. This one has the laser etched titanium. These are made in Taiwan.
They're made in my pocket.
They're made for your pocket. Ruin the moment for Kara.
I know.
Any titanium handle pocket knife you recommend? A lot of them, because I'm a titanium whore. I would say right now, right off the bat, if you want to know a couple that I recommend, I have some coming, so I'm obviously going to recommend my own knife designs, but my own knife designs aside, I would go with something from We Knife Co. Most likely We Knife Co., Best Tech, Reat, but if you want just a name of something, I really like the NEEVESKNIVES. A new version just came out. The NEEVESKNIVES is really good. It depends on the size of the knife you like to, like, because there's so many different sizes. But that's a really, really good one. The Esprit is a good one for like if you like a more mid-sized knife. Then there's so many titanium knives, like there's going through my head. I'm thinking price though, because like how much money you got, you know? Ooh, if you got a little bit of money, I would say the F22 kickstop. That's a really good one. It's elegant, it's sleek, it's not too big. Beautiful titanium, comes in multiple different versions, lots of different options, like 20 different flavors of different micartas, carbon fibers, and solid titanium. They all have titanium though. F22 kickstop, really good model. Savage Elixir is underrated. I have that too. Your misdemeanor and MC's Excaliburs are interesting. Yeah, yep, I got two of my designs right here. So you got the inmate and the misdemeanor right there. This one's in 20 CV. My other design is back there. I do have another one with Best Tech coming, the Offender. This one is in K390 titanium, 20 CV in titanium. And then
chonky, even though he's not full titanium.
And then here's Kara's little chonky chonk.
That thing is dope. It's amazing.
Titanium and micarta. And then here's my other knife design, the Offender. I love this thing. It's got a harpoon, a slight recurve tanto with a dual grind. Very ergonomic, super good action.
Two more.
What? Two more?
Two more good titanium ones. These are my faves that are not small. They're not
I'm gonna
small.
show them another titanium.
This one's just gonna piss everyone off, and I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, they can't find that. Sorry. You can't find that.
It's so good.
That's too dope for you guys.
I know, but you can find it in different patterns, yeah?
Nope.
Just no?
Nope.
Just never?
Never.
Okay, and then this one.
So this is $600. She grabs the most expensive shit.
Say good, not.
No, it's great. This is amazing. This is USA made, baby. Tactile Archer. And it's after Archer because it has a feather padding like an arrow. Take this. Like this another good one is from Tuya, the Shocker.
That's funny.
This is DLC. It's beautiful DLC too. Look at this DLC set and finish. Beautiful with titanium. And then here's the NEEVESKNIVES. I was trying to tell you guys. Great knife. A new version just dropped. This has some of the snappiest flipping action and reverse flicking action.
Is it nefarious or nefarious?
I don't know, nefarious. This is a Jack Wolf. Jack Wolf is dropping a new model right now that looks badass. They're pretty expensive though, but that'll be coming here in just a couple weeks. Ooh, check this one out. This will be the last one. Damascus Clit. This is the concept. I can't think of the name of it. Link. The concept Link. And this one's got the Damascus, but they have other versions. It's a 10 CR Damascus, but they have like it's 30 or 20 CV or something, but it's got the top flipper that works great. It's kind of a chunky knife. It's a little thick, but good size though. And it's very fidget friendly. But that's a really cool one. And then one other one, while I'm just emptying the pack, we got the Kraken. And the Kraken comes with magnetic scales. So you can easily pop it off to change out your Omega springs or to get new scales or whatever. And it is a crossbar lock. This one's the DLC version, S90V. Full titanium. And look, you can see there's no hardware because the scales are magnetic. The hardware's underneath the bottom or underneath the scales. All right, guys. What? Oh, and then we have the Miguran Karaki. Is it the Karaki? Yeah.
I should have brought the box.
Yeah,
over, but
it's
I'm
not the
rushing.
Curix. No, is it the Curix?
It is the knife that is by
Yes,
Miguran.
Curix. It's the Miguran Curix, sorry. The Miguran Curix. And this one has a really good front flipper too.
Miguran should not be slept on. Like, honestly, every knife I pull
No,
out,
Miguran's really good, yeah. This one, oh yeah, this is another really nice Miguran. This one's new. This is a brand new one from Miguran. Really good model. Deep hollow ground, very, very slicey, deep satin, drop point blade. M390? Yes, M390.
I honestly feel like that's like an Elementum kind of like premium equivalent, like that, just that classic size. It's a tad bit bigger.
It's a great size.
But it's just that like classic EDC, but fancy looking.
If you're looking for a titanium knife that's not in a super steel to bring down the price, check out KUBEY. KUBEY has some for like $100 in 14C28 on. This one is the Centaurion, and this is a beautiful knife too. I have two of these. I have with the copper carbon fiber and the silver, just like I also have this in the same thing. I got doubles and triples of like everything. That's why I give a lot of away to the members.
Big fatty?
One more, fuck, man.
No, there's one more after
and
that.
Look at how big this daddy is.
That's the fatty. Well, that's not the
Ooh, it's so fat. This is the Ari. Or yeah, Ari, I think. It's
a dainty name for such a
I think it's the Ari. I could be wrong. I actually have one of these I'm giving away to one of the members, I think.
Okay, last one.
All right, last one.
Boom, my favorite.
The big belly. Look at that belly. This, I forget the name of this one. So this one's 20C or S90. No, M390. I was wrong. M390, which is basically 20 CV. Beautiful thumb stud action though. These thumb studs are great. The detent is solid on this guy. It has a diamond pattern on the titanium. And then flipping action with a very, very slicey, deep hollow ground straight back. So this is a straight back. So the tip's gonna be a little more difficult to get to, but it's gonna be a little more durable and stable, but you're gonna have a lot of belly for slicing. So there you guys go. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. A lot of you guys hung out this whole time, even after we got done sharpening. How do I become a member? So if you look next to the subscribe button, it says join. You can do that. And then most of my videos down in the description, not this one because I had to take it out. But if you go back like 3 full-length videos, just look in the description. It says become a member. Like you just have to scroll down in the description. But it should just be right by the subscribe button. Just look next to there. It says join. All right, guys, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you guys for all the love. Shout out to all the members. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace. My shit's dying right now.